side, there's Mary Finnegan, a level-headed, common-sense leader who served as clerk in the town of Whitestown for the last 17 years. She wrote and won a grant that modernized the office, made customer service a priority, and now wants to do the same for Oneida County. She will keep the Rome DMV open, and she'll work to improve the experience at all DMV locations. All this while protecting the public's private information. The fact is, there's no one better suited for this job. This election, please vote for experience. Vote Mary Finnegan, Oneida County Clerk, paid for by Friends of Mary Finnegan.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
At AmeriQ Credit Union, we believe real connections matter, today more than ever. Whether it's connecting you to the right solutions to achieve your goals, new technology to make banking easier, or a real person to help you succeed, we'll be here. In person, online, or anywhere in between, creating meaningful connections that make you feel like you belong. AmeriQ and you. Let's connect. Membership restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
In Albany, the only political party that matters is the majority party.
I'm Assemblywoman Mary Ann Buttonshaw, and I'm a member of the Assembly's majority. As a member of the Assembly, I do more for the Mohawk Valley. More funding for Utica, Rome, and Whitesboro schools than ever before. Almost $500,000 for local fire departments. $125,000 for the town of Deerfield. More funding from Albany means a stronger Mohawk Valley. Wolfspeed means good jobs. The Nexus Center means more recreation and tourism opportunities. Griffith's Business and Technology Park assures our future in high-tech economy. As a member of the Assembly, I brought your voice and your values to the state capitol and brought back expanded youth and senior program funding for our cities and towns and $1 million to assist our youth in crisis at the House of Good Shepherd. Given the chance, I'll do more. That's why the Friends of Mary Ann Buttonshaw paid for this message.
It's a new day because COVID vaccines just got a big update. So all the big stuff coming up this fall, well, now you can say, you bet I'll be there. Because updated COVID vaccines protect against both the original COVID virus and Omicron. And everyone 5 and older can get one. So this is a moment we've all been waiting for.
Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. We can do this. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, the Phillies are in deep trouble right now, right?
They are.
Two games to play going in. They're down 3-2 going into Houston. The Phillies are in trouble.
I think so. I thought they certainly needed to win 2 out of 3 at home because their offense is so good in that park. Now they're going to go back to Houston and face their best pitchers again. Verlander.
And by the way, in Houston, the stadium's wired. They know what everybody's saying. They know all the calls.
Correct.
They have cameras in the bathrooms. I mean, be careful there.
Yeah. 3-2 last night. It was funny because the game started off for both offenses with a bang. Altuve almost homered, turned it into a double. I guess he ended up on third, but it's because the center fielder misplayed the ball. Then the second baseman, Pena, who's a rookie, singles him in. It's 1-0 like that. And then he gets out of the inning, and Schwarber ties it first at bat for the Phillies. So it was 1-1 for a while, but that rookie Pena then hit a home run. I can't believe how well he's played in this postseason so far.
Thought we had a game last night in Thursday Night Football. It was tied at the half, and then the Eagles ran away with it. The Eagles are now still remaining undefeated.
Yeah, 7-0.
Nagel's got to be one happy man right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a big story to deal with this morning at about 7:35, 7:40. We'll have someone in studio. I can't get into it because the story has been embargoed, which means on the honor system we've been asked to not talk about it until after 7:30. So we'll honor that, but have someone in studio, and it involves a local company that we all know. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But we'll do that about 7:40 this morning. It'll be well worth, would you agree, well worth hanging around to see what that is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's not an empty tease, is all I'm saying.
That was a famous Forrest Gump line, wasn't it? That's all I've got to say about that.
That's all I've got to say about that. Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates, which doesn't sound anything like him, but I kind of feel it's like Kevin Spacey, if Kevin Spacey was doing it.
Yes.
Maybe not. That'll be my impression. This is my impression of Kevin Spacey doing Forrest Gump.
That's pretty accurate. You do kind of sound like Kevin Spacey when you say that.
Okay, so we'll do that about 7:40. And I'm going to say I'm with these guys.
Okay.
Would you agree?
You're giving hints now.
I'm not giving hints. I'm just saying
they're guys.
Well,
and
they're not guys.
A well-known Utica company.
They're not guys. I'm with these human beings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with these people.
I think I am too. I to be honest with you, I think I am too. I guess I shouldn't say that, but I guess we'll find out more and what's motivating it coming up this morning. But you'll definitely want to be here to hear it.
This weekend is daylight saving time coming to an end. Daylight saving time comes to an end. A few things to keep note of. If you're snooty, you probably correct people when they say, "Oh, daylight savings time is coming to an end," or this week it's daylight savings time. First of all, it's not savings time. You'll be corrected when it's saving time, right?
Yes.
So if you're a snob, an English snob, you'll correct people. Actually, it's daylight saving time. And when you say it's daylight savings time this weekend, you're completely wrong because it's daylight saving time, and it is the end of daylight saving time.
Yes.
So for all those time snobs out there, you can say it correctly. I have over the years been corrected.
We're transitioning now to daylight wasting time.
Daylight wasting time. Daylight gets dark. Daylight ends, and by mid-December, right around December 20th, it'll be the shortest day of the shortest sunlight of the day of the year.
And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, the sun goes down around December 20th. It's like 4:30. It's something absurd.
You could look it up what the sunset is, but it's right around 4:30.
I mean, basically, if you're watching Sunday football, by the time the 4:30 game kicks off, if you haven't done your outside stuff, you're not doing it.
Yeah. Tonight is the Ricky Z's Billy Joel show. As a matter of fact, Davey, Do we have anything left back in there? Back in your prize vault?
In my little office.
In your
Yes, we
office,
do.
yeah.
Yes, we do.
All right. Let's give away a pair of tickets to tonight at the Stanley Theater if you want to go and see an all-star cast of musicians, including Ricky Z, and that will be tonight. And it is at the Stanley Theater. And if you would like tickets, I don't know, make it caller number 2 right now, 315-736-0186. And Manaski, looking at the flyer right now, it is an all-star cast of musicians. Caller number 2 right now will give you a pair of tickets for tonight.
Yeah, the Billy Joel Tribute Show featuring Ricky Z, Ronnie Z, Michael G, Greeley Z. I'm going to call them all Z.
Yeah.
Except for Mike Galimi can be Michael G. Mark Bolos. Matter of fact, I just saw Mark Bolos yesterday. I quickly mentioned something. Senator Griffo did an awards presentation for community leaders.
Mark was one of the winners.
Yes, who've done outstanding work in the community. It's the New York State Senate Commendation Awards. And it's a nice little presentation. I think there were about 24 people there yesterday.
Yeah, there were a lot of them.
One was Mark Bolos, and in fact, I wanted to mention and congratulate our very own Steve Marin, who was recognized by Senator Griffo and New York State for his work in the community, and he's done quite a bit of work for music departments at local schools. And
Steve used to did a lot of work in television, but now he works here at Town Square because he has a face for radio. Ba-dum, bang! And I only say that because that's what he says to me in Manaski every time
all
he sees
the
us.
time. But anyway,
hey, he'll stop us in the hallway and he'll be like, you do have a face for radio. And I'm like, here's a mirror. Bang!
So we say good morning to Steve, and congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
That's great and very well deserved, so hats off.
I remember when Steve used to run KTV, and he would get out. He would get on TV and do some pretty scathing endorsements and editorials. Just out of nowhere. Hello, I'm Steve Marin. I'm the head of KTV, and I think this. And it was new. We'd never seen that. Prior to that, the most we ever saw was, Lyle Bosley kind of rooting for a thunderstorm or something. He used to do the weather. Michael this morning says the Keeler Show is like a box of chocolates. It's occasionally sweet, but it's full of nuts. I think you're probably right there, Mike.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mike.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we mentioned that this weekend. There's a lot of sports to get into this weekend. So the World Series is off tonight, but resumes Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
In Houston, that could very well be over by Sunday.
I think actually Saturday might be it. Who's Smitty? He's not in there. Somebody's pitching for. Obviously, somebody's pitching, but I don't know that they get past that first game back in Houston.
In addition to this big story coming up that we'll get into at about 7:40 this morning, involving a local company, there's this new thing that the mayor has worked on for the city of Utica, using some of their COVID money, and it's kind of a, what would we call it? It's like a card that you show, or you show your app, and you ended up saving money. The businesses, it kind of attracts people to local businesses. Artisanal cheese is a part of it, and Hemstrats. In fact, you earn, when you spend money, you earn half moons. They call them, instead of dollars, they call them half moons.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And Dan from Artisanal Cheese will explain what that is all about. Comedian Eric Grady is performing this weekend at Fat Cats Comedy Club, both Friday night, tonight, and Saturday night, with shows, one tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. Come on out and see this guy. He's incredibly hilarious, and he's known as the tallest stand-up comic in the world.
So
or maybe in America.
I'm going to bust his chops when he comes in, but he I mentioned this earlier this week. He reminds me of his look, because he's got that big beard. Dr. Stephen Kusin, who's local around here. He actually kind of looks just like him, but he is extremely tall and, from what I hear, extremely funny.
Unbelievably hilarious. Syracuse Airport announced this week, this is big, they are going to have, if you've had to fly out of Syracuse, the biggest problem as of late is no parking spaces. They'd been doing work on the garage, and it eliminated parking spaces. The biggest problem, one of the biggest problems, is parking spaces. So the Syracuse Regional Airport Authority is planning to build 2,000 more parking spaces at Hancock International Airport, which increases their capacity by 44%. That is a big deal.
Yeah.
I will say what my wife and I have been doing, if we go away for any long period of time, we've been doing the park and ride, and my wife's really good at this. She'll or park and fly. She'll really search out the best place. We drive in. We don't spend the night because these hotels tend to be not the nicest hotels in the world, but they're great. So here's what you do. If for those who don't know, it's pretty obvious what it is. You go to a hotel, you park your car, and they take a shuttle, put you in a shuttle, and take you over to the airport. You fly out. It's like $130. Maybe not even that. Maybe we paid $75 the last time we did it. But it's far less expensive than going to the airport and parking your car, because that can get to be, if you're away for a week, that can be very, very expensive. So, but I don't know many places that do it in Syracuse, but they definitely have a couple that do it in Albany.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was going to the
you
hotel, basically.
You could come the night before, spend the night at the hotel, leave your car, and they take you to the airport. Some people will do that if they have an early morning flight. But if your flight is later on in the day, you can just come, park your vehicle, you register with them, you pay your fee, and bang, you're flying away.
Gotcha.
And you save a ton of money, and you're parked generally in a pretty safe parking area. But I don't know many that offer that in Syracuse. But now 2,000 more parking spaces, which most likely will come within the year. That's a pretty big deal, I think. There was a debate between the congressional candidates, 22nd Congressional District, which is what affects us here. I realize that in Herkimer County, they're in Elise Stefanik's and her opponent, Castelli. In that race, but in the Utica, Oneida County area, it's the 22nd. There was a debate between Brandon Williams and Knoll. And did you see the bomb that Brandon Williams dropped?
No, because I'll tell you, I went and looked for it, and I was a little disappointed. I believe it was hosted by CNY Central, which is a TV station, right?
WSYR Channel 9 in Syracuse. So we didn't, you would have thought it would have been picked up here. Davey,
but not only that, they haven't posted it.
In Rome, they could have seen it.
Yeah, we watched it on WTR last night.
Oh, UTR ran it last night.
Yeah, it was on Channel 9, too.
Okay, all right. Republican congressional candidate Brandon Williams last night delivered his first public criticism of former President Donald Trump for his role in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. All this time, all these commercials have said that he was an election denier. He felt that January 6th wasn't that bad. Well, Williams came out and made some pretty comments I didn't expect to hear. And this is a guy that we don't know. Brandon Williams is a guy we don't know.
I was just going to say
he's a coal farmer. That's truffle. He's a truffle farmer. His family shipped off jobs to China or something like that. I don't know.
And
these
with
negative,
no exceptions.
These negative commercials are just unbelievable. And this is what he said. When you sit in that kind of leadership role, your words matter, Brandon Williams said. But the fact is that as the leader of the free world, we have 200 years of tradition in this country, almost unprecedented in the whole world, to have a peaceful transition of power. And I think that's a pretty damn responsible thing to say.
I completely agree. And I will say, unfortunately, despite multiple efforts to contact Brandon Williams, I don't know if it's
he's been told not to come on here because we will, we're going to, I don't know, trip him on his way in or something.
And I specifically said in a couple of the emails, look, all I see about you
we don't
are
even
negative
know,
ads.
Right? We don't know anything about you.
Well, you can come on and address the negative ads. We want to know who Brandon Williams really is.
And to be fair, Knoll, have we had him once?
Yes,
maybe early on we had him.
Yeah.
But they get to this point where they fear radio because they fear that we're going to throw the big question that's going to go viral and it'll be online and they'll lose the election because of it. It just blows my mind. To have rhetoric that undermines our institution and 200 years of tradition, he said, that's not okay for our leaders. Joe Biden, he called us the enemy of democracy. That's how he's describing Republicans these days. Does that sound like the kind of leadership that we need that's going to be a uniter? And I think that answer is no, he said. So he obviously criticized Biden, but then went on to criticize President Trump on January 6th. Now, there's a certain element of the Republican Party who'll be very bothered by that, who believe that President Trump is not at all culpable for what happened on January 6th. So his statement is one that probably works really well in a 22nd congressional district that leans moderate to Democrat.
Correct. And if he really feels that way, I'm telling you, he would have had a chance to convince a lot more people that he felt that way, and he could have taken this up on multiple opportunities.
These commercials, I just think, are horrible. All we're getting is just one cookie-cutter, ugly commercial after another. They are just terrible. And, other than one that I can think of, for the most part, candidates are pretty civil when they're running. I can think of one local commercial that's not overly civil, let's just say. But for the most part, other local candidates are. And they talk about, this is important, and I know it's a crazy concept, they talk about what they would do if elected.
Not attacking the other one?
Not attacking the other one.
Wait.
And there's none of that, almost none of that in this congressional race.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is a big shame. We know the other one that they're off in the middle of some Halloween haunting scene, and they're boiling people in their lair with dark photos and high contrast ugliness. That's all we get to see of these candidates.
Yeah.
Evil.
Hates this, hates that, loves Trump.
If he's elected, he will destroy your life. You'll be living in squalor. Da, 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 da.
What if that's how you feel right now?
Right. Yeah. Let's see. What else did I want to get into? This weather is going to be unbelievable this weekend. Although I do think we're probably in for maybe a little more cloudiness than we're expecting. But it is going to be up into the mid-70s. Most likely we will be breaking records this weekend in terms of temperature. It's going to be unbelievable. And that's tonight, tomorrow, and even into Sunday. And then we begin a little bit of a decline by Monday. But even next week, when you look at the temperatures have dropped, it gets into the 50s by Tuesday, but then we're back up into the 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. So I guess let's take the weather as we can. The Justice Department announced the first national takedown of a criminal enterprise stealing catalytic converters off vehicles. Man, we're seeing this around here. It's a big deal around here. One of the alleged criminals taken in was Naveen Khanna from New Jersey, who posted a picture of a catalytic converter-style necklace on his Instagram account. It has a winking emoji. Here's a police officer explaining why these car parts are so unbelievably valuable.
The metals, $26,000 an ounce. You can see why, it's very expensive repair to make, number one, but number two, why it's such a common crime.
Some of the metals are $26,000 an ounce that are taken from catalytic converters. What are you putting that type of valuable metal in a catalytic converter for?
That's my first question. That was my first question, and I have to mention this, and this isn't. When I worked in Marianne's office, Marianne Buttonshaw, she was bringing forward a bill, and that was the first question I had when she started telling me, like, do you know how valuable some of this metal is? And my first thought was, well, then why do they just attach it freely on the bottom of a car for somebody that they can steal it? But anyway. There is now legislation that's been moved forward. I apologize, I don't know if it's been passed, but it came from a local business owner. What they want to do now is if you go to hawk one of these converters, you basically have to provide documentation that shows what vehicle VIN number it came from. Right, as a way to trace it, because stealing these and then just, selling them for drug money has become so popular.
It's become a thing, and it's unbelievable how quickly they're able to slide under a vehicle and cut it off.
And I don't know what they're getting, when they trade them in or when they hawk them someplace, but to replace it, it usually costs the vehicle owner at least $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. In Oregon, police received reports of razor blades inside Halloween candy over the weekend. Here are residents of that community, Deborah May and Isaac Johnson, talking about the horrific discovery that they found.
That's really twisted. That's a person who definitely should be put in restraints.
It was really sad to hear that act would happen anywhere to kids. It's like, that's just so mean.
If there's someone out there who's guilty of this, I have one thing to say to them. You just might burn in hell.
I wonder when you're a reporter and you're asking questions, it's like, all right, what do you think about razor blades and kids' candy?
Right.
What a dumb question.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
What's
like
somebody going to say? Well, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, is it really going to hurt them?
Yeah, they do this at we watch the World Series. They interview a guy in the dugout. Bryce Harper hits a home run. Well, Bryce, what did you think? Was that a good hit you had there? Yeah, it was a great hit.
God, like asking the obvious.
And by the way, I find it interesting. I hate to be skeptical about this, and I certainly hope that this isn't really happening. People are putting razor blades in candy bars that kids are going to eat. But the expert they talked to, interesting, she said, if people are doing this, I think they're going to and they're going to end up burning in hell, I think she said. Well, what do you mean if? Apparently they found it.
They found it. And what are you, I would be like, what kind of person, what must it be like sitting in your home and you're placing the razor blade in the piece of candy? I mean, you got to be some really twisted, demented person. That's kind of what I would.
I know this has happened before, but what community is that story out of?
That's out of Oregon.
Oh, it's in Oregon.
It used to be a thing in the 70s. Apples. So don't eat an apple because they put razor blades in the apples. So I don't know. Maybe it was the banana lobby that was actually promoting that. It wasn't even real.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Don't eat apples. Don't eat apples. Eat bananas.
Who actually does this? I mean, gosh.
Yeah. What kind of a whack job would you have to be?
And how can you not tell when you open the candy bar that the candy bar's already been opened and tampered with?
You know, I've already taken the wrapper off the Snickers bar for you just to save you some time. Go ahead, take a bite. Right? I'm not suspicious of that at all. YouTuber Mr. Beast was randomly handing out. This is a really cool thing. So while there are bad stories from Halloween, there are some good ones. This YouTuber, who's making a ton of money on YouTube, is best known for giving away money. He gives kids new iPhones, AirPods, and PlayStation systems. YouTuber Mr. Beast this year was randomly handing out packets of $10,000 to trick-or-treaters Monday night.
Okay, now what community is this?
Apparently not ours. He posted the TikTok video of one of the kids that tried to hand it back, probably like, this isn't candy. Kid, take the money.
Yeah.
Take this envelope. Your parents will explain it to you. Take the envelope. But yeah, that's a unbelievable, right? Unbelievable.
And I wonder how many he gave out. See, again, I'm struggling to buy this story. I don't know, it's a skeptical Friday for me.
It's real. Several packets. This guy has done this before. Several packets of $10,000. And then the World Series last night, this was kind of interesting. A paraglider. Well, I'll save that. It's a different story. A cat in Philadelphia was rescued from train tracks thanks to a public transport worker who spotted the cat. The only reason a worker was in that area was because of the World Series. They're saying now they're crediting the World Series with saving this cat's life. Bit of a stretch. But here's Philadelphia Animal Welfare Society worker Laura Foley thanking the Phillies for saving this cat.
He was there because of this World Series. He was assigned to that station to make sure something was in line for all the extra traffic that night. Thank you for the Phillies.
In other words, had the Mets done well this season, that cat would be dead.
Oh, that's so silly.
That's kind of how they're looking at it.
The cat has ample reaction time to get out of the way from these things. They're so much smarter than people, most animals.
And the story on the paraglider, that was in Florida, found a woman trapped on top of her car that was submerged in a canal. The paraglider saw it and assisted in saving her life. Here's Cristiano Piquet documenting the entire rescue and breaking down everything as it happened.
You need help?
Fell with my car in here.
Let go of your left hand. Eso. Me and my friend Diego, we are flying this morning like we always do, Sunday before church. And I'm flying, I see a car in the canal. And I go around and I land in the middle of nowhere, and I land, and we come, and we start asking for help. A neighbor comes. Wow. Hey, we pretty much saved this lady's life today, okay? Definitely.
So apparently they paraglided. They saw her, and she had been in an accident, and they alerted neighbors to come and help her. They called the authorities. She ended up being saved. That's a little more of credit, I would think, of credible credit, as opposed to the last story out of Philadelphia.
Yes, I completely agree.
Okay. Jeff will have an update coming up, an update on the forecast as well, which is just going to be a beautiful day. May get a few clouds here today, but for the most part, looking for a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend.
I think that story with the paraglider, is it a paraglide? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
They actually credited saving the woman's life to the New York Mets, because the guy said he's a big Mets fan, and had the Mets been in the World Series, he wouldn't have been paragliding yesterday. He would have been watching the game.
He would have been home watching the game. Some of these are a bit of a reach, in my opinion, but it is what it is. We'll break and come back at 6:46 a Friday morning at WIBX.
Somebody should tell Kathy Hochul Halloween is over. She's still trying to scare you about Lee Zeldin. The guy's a suburban dad with a wife and 2 teen girls. Enough already. Okay, you might not be thrilled about voting for a Republican. Me neither, and I won't make it a habit, but things have got to change. Under Hochul, you know what's happening with crime. Cashless bail? Come on. It's not just crime. It's the cost of living. Just paying bills. Hochul delivers the most expensive state budget in history, then acts like she's doing you a favor by spending it? Besides, with all these people moving out of state, who's gonna get the bill? You. Hochul's already backed higher taxes 11 times. Lee Zeldin is the best hope we have to change things. The way I see it, you can vote for Hope, or you can vote for Hochul.
Paid for by Safe Together New York, Inc. This communication was not expressly authorized or requested by any candidate or by any candidate's political committees or any of its agents.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Castrol Edge can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for only $38.99. Get everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Long before the sun rises and the highways are busy with traffic, before the kids are on the buses and first-shift workers begin their day, Sheriff Rob Mashel is hard at work, making sure our community is a safe place for all of us to live. It's what keeps him up at night and gets him up early every day. It's his passion. It's his purpose. It's his job.
I'm Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. The men and women of the Oneida County Sheriff's Office are making a positive difference. Children are safer in schools because a trained officer is on duty at almost every school. Our deputies stand with area police departments to combat increased crime. If we continue working together, we'll keep Oneida County safe. I'm Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. Law enforcement is my family. Your safety and their safety matter to me.
This November, re-elect Rob Mashel, your Oneida County Sheriff. Paid for by friends of Rob Mashel.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Would you vote for Biden, Pelosi, Kathy Hochul? Of course not. Then why would you ever support Matt Castelli, a downstate Democrat? Never voted here before. Castelli supports Biden's latest spending spree that increases inflation, raises home heating oil, and is the largest tax increase ever. And like Hochul, Castelli supports a gun ban. This election, say no to Biden, Pelosi, Hochul, and no way to Matt Castelli.
I'm Elise Stefanik. Every day I go to work with one thing in mind, getting results for upstate New York. From securing millions for our seniors, veterans, and local hospitals, to leading the fight to stop Biden's inflation crisis. I'll always back the blue and defend our Second Amendment, and I'm not afraid to take on the radical left who think they know better. They don't. I'm Elise Stefanik, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message because I would be honored to continue serving you.
Paid for by Elise for Congress.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So the jackpot will have to rise a bit this weekend in order to break a world record, or if there's no winner on Saturday night of Powerball, it will then break a world record for the largest. The next drawing, which I think would be Monday, would be the largest Powerball or the largest lottery drawing in the history of the world. And but it may also still grow to the biggest ever, depending on how many people buy tickets between today and tomorrow. So right now, the jackpot still remains at $1.5 billion. Would be $1 billion. $1 billion. That's really incredible. Now, what I was reading. I was reading something the other day, and that you should be aware of. We all should be aware of if you're going to play this thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you win, chances are you won't. In fact, I'll be at the Comets game tomorrow night. Losing the 50-50 raffle as well. But if you win. The suggestion is that you do not take the lump sum.
Yeah.
First of all, you lose a ton.
Yes. Yes.
You'll lose between 50 and 60% of that, depending on the jackpot amount, to taxes. The other part is if you were to take it in monthly payment or in annual payments, here's how it would go. I mean, you take $1.5 billion, and by the way, you can figure it out on your phone. Pull up your calculator on your phone, and if you can, but just think about this. Pull up the calculator, and let's say this is like the other day. I think the payout, the lump sum payout, would have been close to $600 million lump sum payout.
Okay.
So put $600 million in. I mean, you're still going to pay the taxes, but just say you did this. Put $600 million in and divide it by 29.
Oh.
And so the way this would work,
20.6.
So you would receive payments of $20.6 million every year for 29 years.
Bill, it's not enough.
It is.
It's not enough,
And
Bill.
what the finance person said, now that number's higher now because it's the jackpot has risen to $1.5 billion. So, but what the financial advisor said is it is enough, and you can live on $20 million a year, especially if you're knowing that you can invest there. You can invest that. And you also realize that a new $20 million is coming the next year. Mm-hmm. So you get an immediate $20 million right off the bat, and then $20 million, I believe, for 29 years.
Now that doesn't go. This isn't like a for life thing, like the win for life.
I think you can put it in your will.
Okay, you can give it to somebody else.
So now the beauty of this is they're saying is when people are getting these lump sums. So they're getting $600 million. Most people end up doing an awful job or finding a financial advisor that does an awful job at investing the money. And it happens. Many times these people end up with nothing.
Well, you joked. I don't remember how large the lottery is.
I love the show. You mean the show where you've won $1 million and now I'm going to take you to a home. So you win $1 million and you buy an $800,000 house.
Yeah.
Where are you going with that? Right? You won't be able to afford the taxes.
You better get back in line for Powerball if that's your plan.
God, I mean, it's so ridiculous. But they're saying not to take the lump sum. That if you did make a mistake in investment in year one, you've got another $20 million coming at the end of the year.
Yeah.
To kind of rebound.
Yeah, I would say this, though, too. If I ever won that kind of money, and I think this might be part of the problem, or maybe people just blow it, but I would go from, you give, your best friends, right, growing up, you give them a little something, right?
Yes.
And then you got some cousins you take care of, maybe an aunt and uncle, right? And then you go buy maybe your parents the house they always wanted or something like that, But I feel like you're going to be doing a lot for a lot of people, or at least be asked to. And I think that's where a lot of that money gets blown. But certainly, you can buy a lot of nice houses and buy a lot of nice lunches for people with $20 million a year.
You can, and
That's a
and
good
believe
tip.
me, it won't be. You won't be seeking out those cousins and those long lost relatives. They'll be seeking you out. That's the other thing.
No question.
So sooner or later they'll get rid of they'll get used to the fact that you have money, and they're going to leave you alone. You're going to have to be a little stingy, otherwise these people will suck you dry. I'm telling you. I've seen it. I have no idea, really. I just assume that could be happening.
Plus, it also, if you do the deferral and spread it out, you can always say to that family member who keeps asking, is that, look, I'm on a budget. That's all I can spend this year. I can't do it. I don't get any more money till next year.
And don't tell them what you're really getting. I'm getting $2 million a year. There's really not much I can do with that. When in reality, it's $20 million. I mean, you just can't help everybody. Liberal Lou on the line right now. Good morning, Lou. Good morning. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning. So back to the political commercials.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody is fully sick of listening to that.
I know they're terrible.
Mostly nonsense, but of course it's going to get much worse. And the basic reason for this is there's just a massive amount of money flowing into these campaigns.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
It is unbelievable, and there's a reason for it. The Democratic Party has been stalwart in trying to staunch that flow, but they have lost case after case in the courts to the Republicans. Most famously, and anybody can research this, called Citizens United, case a few years ago where the Supreme Court, the 5 Republicans, voted against the 4 Democrats, and the Republicans basically said that no limits to campaign donations.
Don't you feel, though, that, and there are some limits, by the way, there are limits out there, but don't you feel...
Well, technically, but
right.
limiting minor limits to direct campaign donations to candidates.
But
Citizens United said that you can advertise.
Right.
So these advertisements aren't directly for candidates. That is unlimited.
Well, and that's what
there's no limitation on that.
That's what we're seeing right now.
Candidate advertising.
Yeah. But you're seeing it on both sides, right? Both sides are.
Oh, yeah, but the Democrats, well, they have to fight fire with fire. I mean, they have to go out and get all the campaign, but they want to limit this, and they've proven this by fighting the Republicans in court. You can look at Citizens United.
I understand. I do understand.
So there's a reason that I actually would have loved to seen John McCain win the presidential campaign in 2000, because he was one of the few Republicans whose major policy effort was to stop all this.
Right.
And that's why he was called the Maverick.
Yeah.
Because he just fought Mitch McConnell tooth and nail. Mitch McConnell just lives and dies on campaign financing from corporations.
Well, he's brilliant at it. Mitch McConnell's really good at it.
There's no doubt about that.
But they're all doing negative, ugly.
What the Republican Party basically is getting money from major corporations and doing their bidding.
Right.
And that's how they win elections, and that's what they are all about, essentially.
Well, I'll tell you this. What Democrats are doing right now, they're doing their own bidding, and this is how they lose elections. Some of the things they've been up to lately, I can tell you that.
And these negative commercials don't always work. I look at Steve Wells, how much money was spent on Steve Wells, and Brandon Williams won. And there's a ton of money being spent in this 22nd congressional district. And very few of those commercials are candidates saying, this is what I would do if I get elected.
Well, I tell you, there's one Brandon Williams commercial that's very negative, and it's him speaking. He attacks Wells by trying to terrify people that the IRS is coming after them. So you could Google this, fact-check it online.
I don't remember. That wasn't obviously in this general election, but I'm almost out of time, Lou. I appreciate it. You feel free to pipe in. Furthermore, we don't always agree, but I do appreciate your input.
All right, just briefly, I would urge people to fact-check the IRS bill that Biden passed, the one that Brandon Williams is attacking with lies, saying that they're going to come after you. The IRS is attacking the middle class. Totally false. The IRS bill is a wise bill, an intelligent bill, funding a much unfunded asset of the country that the Republicans have been defunding for years for their wealthy friends.
Okay. All right, Lou, thank you. We appreciate your time. Have a great day. Are you going to vote early? Are you going to take advantage of today, tomorrow, or Sunday?
Now I am.
I think
I'm kidding.
I think I want to do that, or maybe I'll vote on Tuesday. I don't know. Coming up, comedian Eric Grady in studio, and an announcement We have someone coming in at 7:40. It's a big story. Can't tell you what it is yet, but it's coming up here. WIBX Utica Rome, 7 o'clock.
The bird might be getting plucked. CJ Papa, Fox News. The dismantling of the social media giant today begins. Thousands of workers bracing for the worst. Fox's Jenny Casola joins us this morning with the latest.
Elon Musk is expected to conduct massive layoffs at Twitter today. Twitter had more than 7,500 employees at the start of the year. The Wall Street Journal says a message sent to staff didn't reveal the extent of the cuts, but said employees will receive a message by 9 a.m. Pacific time about whether they were affected. The Twitter takeover leaves the company with significant debt. At the same time, advertising spending from digital advertisers is slowing. Jenny Cosola, Fox News.
It's Jobs Report Friday. We'll find out how many jobs are created across the nation. That number from the Labor Department in just under 90 minutes comes 2 days after the central bank bumped up interest rates by 75 basis points for a fourth time this year. Oprah Winfrey is responsible for launching Dr. Mehmet Oz to superstardom on TV. But when it comes to his bid to win the open Senate seat in Pennsylvania, Winfrey is backing his challenger, Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, saying, if I lived in Pennsylvania, I would have already cast my vote for John Fetterman for many reasons. Dr. Oz speaking to supporters.
And I want to bring balance back into this equation. I want to make sure that the extreme ideas of John Fetterman aren't there.
Fetterman will take part in an event in Upper Darby at 11:45 a.m. Eastern. The punitive damages phase of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's trial in Connecticut begins today. He could be facing the possibility of having to pay billions more added on to what he already owes the relatives and victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Now, he's on the hook for nearly $1 billion in compensation, thanks to a recent jury's decision for repeatedly telling his audience of millions the 2012 shooting that killed 21st graders and 6 educators was a hoax. America is listening to Fox News.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped, and sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before, people stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
We have mostly clear skies, a few clouds, 47 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Banaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Utica police investigating after an afternoon shooting in the city that left at least one person injured. Cops were called to the 1500 block of Kemble Street around 3 yesterday, where officers say they found over 15 spent shell casings. They learned the shots came from individuals inside of a vehicle who were shooting at people standing in a nearby driveway. But police say no one at the scene indicated they had been injured. But about an hour later, a man walked into St. Elizabeth with a bullet wound to his upper leg. He is expected to survive. Police looking for tips and information on that shooting. A well-known Utica area restaurant is up for sale. Tiny's Grill at 1014 State Street near Oneida Square has been listed for sale by Coldwell Banker Faith Properties. The asking price just shy of $400,000. The nearly 6,000 square foot building is known for its cozy atmosphere, great food, and, of course, the 2 Blues Brothers on the roof that greet you as you enter. Utica cops looking for a Whitesboro man on 3 charges, including aggravated harassment. Police say 35-year-old Anthony Lang is wanted by Utica police on multiple open warrants for criminal contempt in the first degree and aggravated harassment. The charges stem from an alleged domestic incident that occurred earlier this year. New Yorkers who want to cast their ballot in person ahead of Election Day have only a couple of days left to do so. That's because early voting ends on Sunday. Among the races voters are deciding throughout the state, of course, the race for governor, attorney general, U.S. Senate, congressional seats, and the local races as well. You can find a list of the early voting locations and hours of operation in Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison counties. Just head to WIBX950.com. The Onondaga County Health Department issuing an alert to residents after a recent drug overdose, or a few of them. Officials say a sedative commonly used in an anesthetic on animals is being connected to those overdoses. They say it has similar effects to fentanyl and heroin and can cause a person's heart rate and breathing to slow down. You can contact your local health department for more tips and information. Also, the New York State Hope Line, 1-877-8-HOPE-NY, and that is for addiction treatment. And the mayor of Rochester, Malik Evans, announcing a brand new initiative aimed at preventing violence in his city. It's called Operation Talk It Out. Local leaders working together to try and get people to discuss their issues instead of reverting to violence. Police officers also say, in conjunction with that initiative, they are increasing foot patrols in the city. WIBX News Time is 7:06. Your Weather Center forecast. Some great weather on tap this weekend. The forecast is brought to you by Baird Private Wealth Management, a strong financial partner for 100 years. Visit bairdoffices.com/Utica. Looking at mostly sunny skies for this Friday, a high today of 70 degrees. It'll be partly cloudy overnight tonight, a low of 54. Saturday, partly sunny, high of 72. Sunday, rain showers likely, mainly between 8 a.m. and around noon. Otherwise cloudy with a high of 73. Sunny, a high of 65 on Monday. Tuesday, sunny and a high of 55. So a bit of a cool down there. But, Bill, as you said, we may be warming things up again as we get to the second half of next week. Right now, we have mostly clear skies, 47 degrees. WIBX News Time 7:06. Here's Keeler with sports.
Well, I got to say, last night, very close game in the World Series involving Philadelphia and Houston. And in football, what started out as a very close game in Houston, between Houston and Philadelphia. Let's start with baseball. The Astros are one win away now from winning the World Series. Houston edged the Phillies 3-2 in Game 5 of the Fall Classic in Philadelphia. Rookie Jeremy Pena finished with 3 hits and 2 RBIs, including a go-ahead solo home run in the fourth inning. Switching to football, the Eagles continue to soar over the NFL and remain perfect on the season after their 29-17 road victory over the Houston Texans. That game was tied up at halftime.
I was shocked. As a matter of fact, Houston got an early lead there.
They did. And I thought we were going to be in for a real competitive second half, and it didn't quite work out that way. Davey, how do you feel about this weekend's Bills trip to New Jersey to take on the Jets? Are you a little worried about this game, or do the Bills just roll over the New York Jets?
A little worried because the Jets always played the Bills competitive.
I agree with that. The top 2 teams in the AFC East do battle at MetLife Stadium when the Bills visit the Jets on Sunday. That's a 1 o'clock game. The Bills are 6-1 after beating the Packers 27-17 Sunday Night Football last week. The Bills have the number 1 scoring defense and the number 2 scoring offense in the NFL. Josh Allen is having another fantastic season with nearly 2,200 passing yards and 19 passes for a touchdown. Wow. The up-and-coming Jets lost to New England last week to fall to 5-3, but I completely agree with Davey on this. This is a game. If you're Buffalo, you can't look past the New York Jets.
If I'm not mistaken, the Jets are like 2 touchdown underdogs in that game, aren't they?
Oh,
I think
wow.
The Lions
13. It was 14. I just had it up here. Give you an idea where this is, if I can find it, and I've of course lost it, but it's somewhere. Where this game is right now, it's actually gotten a little bit closer. If you're looking into doing any betting, the Bills are now 11.5-point favorites. It was at 13 points. 11.5-point favorites over the New York Jets. And the odds makers are saying, take this, the Bills will cover.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. That game could be closer than one would expect. The Brooklyn Nets are suspending Kyrie Irving after last week's social media post in which he promoted a film that features anti-Semitic tropes.
Can we talk about this?
We can. And in a statement, the team noted that the star guard later refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. He basically came out and said, just because I post something or I repost something or I share something doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic. I mean, what are you doing, man? Now, remember, you got to understand, you're dealing with a flat earther here.
That's true. I guess here's what I'm struggling with. The team released a statement saying because he won't unequivocally say.
Well, there's big pressure from the NBA here.
I understand. I just wonder, and maybe this is going down the path of being a professional athlete is a privilege. It's not a right. But I don't know that you can say to somebody, I demand you tell me and demonstrate to me right now that you're not racist or you're not sexist.
Well, the problem is apologize for posting a video and say, I didn't realize that the video was anti-Semitic when I posted it. Make an apology. And basically what the NBA is saying is, I don't care what you believe. You can't believe that out loud. Just apologize. Make a sincere apology, and you'll be okay. And he wouldn't do that. He refused to do that. And basically he's saying, I don't know why posting this video is a bad thing. I don't agree with everything in the video, is what he said. So the apology wasn't good enough, and the NBA, I think, put a lot of pressure on the Nets to make a further move. But he's a flat earther. This is a flat earther.
He's a non-vaxxer, too.
And yeah.
I don't feel the same way about non-vaxxing and flat earthing. I don't think those are the same thing. I'm just saying I only mention that because I think he's always in the middle of something that reporters want to talk to him about what he's saying or doing off the court as opposed to what he's doing on the court. It's almost like a Kaepernick 2.0 situation, I feel like.
I guess, and the problem you have is it's self-induced, right? And self-inflicted. He's causing this problem on his own. All he has to do is not do stupid things, and he wouldn't have all this controversy. But remember, it is a privilege to play in professional sports, and if you bring any bit of negative onto the sport or onto the team, they have the absolute right to say. You're violating your contract.
So
whether you agree with what he's saying or disagree,
that's interesting. It caught me off guard that basically they want him to unequivocally, no doubt about it, come out and say that you're not whatever the controversy is, whether it's that he's anti-Semitic or not anti-Semitic, whatever. But I don't think I've ever seen that before.
And some college football action this weekend. Alfred University comes to Gaetano Stadium, and Utica plays Alfred, and that is a 1:00 game tomorrow at Gaetano Stadium.
Final home game for the Pioneers.
And it's hard to believe that they only have one regular season game after this, and it's next weekend against St. John Fisher. At St. John Fisher, and then they're hoping for a bowl game. All right, and then Syracuse. The college football season has hit its 10th week of the season, with several squads battling for postseason positioning. Syracuse is in a position where it's really important for them to win this game. They are going in after falling to Notre Dame and to Clemson. They're going in with a 6-2 record into Pittsburgh as favorites. But a lot of people are taking Pittsburgh on this game and don't have the faith in Syracuse. We'll see what happens. That game is 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. And, Davey, I believe it's on the ACC network.
Correct, you are.
You're not getting a national broadcast now.
And it's a winner-take-all race in Phoenix this weekend as NASCAR's top 4 drivers will battle for the title. Joey Logano, Christopher Bell, Ross Chastain, and Chase Elliott are all in contention for the Cup Series hardware. The Championship 4 will race 312 laps on the 1-mile track Sunday afternoon. And that is sports. Coming up, comedian Eric Grady, who's known as, is he in here yet? Is he pretty tall, Davey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially standing next to me. Known as the is the world's tallest stand-up comic. He's extremely funny. And we'll have him in studio coming up in a few minutes. Dan from Artisanal Cheese also is making his way in studio. It's all part of this program that Utica has now where you can shop at Utica businesses and earn points. The points are called Half Moons. He'll explain the whole program coming up in a second. And then this is big here this morning, at around 7:40 this morning, this has been embargoed, which means we're not supposed to talk about it until 7:30. At 7:30, I'll tell you what's going to happen. But right now, I can't. Honor system. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not like it's the law, but it's the honor system. So we will not say anything, but we'll have an interview with one of the people involved, and it involves a local business you know very, very well. And it's a very, I believe, a very big story today involving a local business. A very big story. And we'll have somebody on about it coming up. And Hobica's free money question of the day. Holy cow, can we fit all this in 1 hour? Probably not. 7:16 to WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
This year, we, the people of Oneida County, have a choice. We can bow down to the political establishment, or we can stand up on our own 2 feet. I'm Marima Smagic-Oren. The race for Oneida County Clerk is more than just another election. It's a fight to decide who runs this county, the people or the politicians. Mary Finnegan's made her choice. She's the establishment's candidate, taking orders from the establishment's bosses. The difference between Mary Finnegan and me? She's running because she'll do what Tony Picenti tells her to do. I'm running because I know what to do. I'm an attorney and a real estate professional who works with the county clerk's office day in and day out. I'm a lawyer who knows the clerk is indispensable to New York State Supreme Court. My opponent files dog licenses and hands out parking permits. I deal with deeds, mortgages, and Supreme Court judges. I'm Marima Smagic-Oren. I put people over politics. Paid for by the Friends of Marima Smagic-Oren.
Need help paying your utility bills? Looking to make your home more energy efficient? 211 has answers.
This is 211. How can we help?
Call 211. It's free, confidential, and always available.
This message brought to you by National Grid.
The Assembly Chamber in the state capitol is called the People's House. For most, that's just a catchy political phrase. But for Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw, it's a promise. Marianne Buttonshaw brings the people's ideas, your ideas, to Albany and turns them into law. A constituent from Rome inspired a new law reducing the theft of catalytic converters. A stricken Utica family inspired Bianca's law, prohibiting the exploitation of hurtful, graphic, violent images on the internet. Revere Copper, new antimicrobial copper, would decrease the spread of COVID-19. So Marianne introduced a bill requiring copper fixtures in all taxpayer-funded projects. Like you, Marianne Buttonshaw shows up for work. She's never missed a session roll call or committee meeting. Like you, Marianne listens. Her office answers 5,000 phone calls and emails a year. Marianne Buttonshaw brings your values and your voice to the State Assembly. That's why the Friends of Marianne Buttonshaw paid for this message.
Hey, it's Dana Cortez, and I'm married to DJ Automatic. When it comes to big life decisions, having options is something I value for our family, especially when it comes to saving money. That's why I love State Farm.
State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they've got options like insuring your car and your home, getting you great rates on both, or they can help personalize your policy with options so that you can get a surprisingly great rate.
I love that option. Saving money, that's what it's all about, so we bundle our home and our car. So for surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Discover the holiday preview event with 50% off everything at Banana Republic Factory for a limited time. From essential sweaters to timeless outerwear, explore the best of the season starting at $24.99. Find your nearest store or shop online only at Banana Republic Factory.
Long before the sun rises and the highways are busy with traffic, before the kids are on the buses and first shift workers begin their day, Sheriff Rob Mashel is hard at work, making sure our community is a safe place for all of us to live. It's what keeps him up at night and gets him up early every day. It's his passion. It's his purpose. It's his job.
I'm Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. The men and women of the United County Sheriff's Office are making a positive difference. Children are safer in schools because a trained officer is on duty at almost every school. Our deputies stand with area police departments to combat increased crime. If we continue working together, we'll keep Oneida County safe. I'm Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel. Law enforcement is my family. Your safety and their safety matter to me.
This November, re-elect Rob Mashel, your Oneida County Sheriff. Paid for by friends of Rob Mashel.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
It's 7:20. Mike says the next time Kyrie apologizes will be the first time, and I think he's probably right here.
I thought he issued an apology earlier this week.
I don't think it's an apology. Did he issue an apology?
Or is it one of those things where he says something like, "I'm sorry you were offended at what I said"?
Yeah, I think so. And it's almost like I don't understand. Just because I post something doesn't mean I fully believe in it. And I think his statement was, I don't believe everything in that video.
The NBA star posted the apology on his verified Instagram account hours after the Nets announced a 5-game suspension. Quote, "To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by my post, I'm deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion to being unjust, labeled anti-Semitic, instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary." Well, that sounds like
It is, but then it's what he said in interviews afterwards. He didn't stop there, and then he did interviews, and it was like, I don't see what the big deal is. Just because I post something, it doesn't mean I believe in all of it, et cetera, and I think he caused himself more trouble there. And again, all you got to do is appease the people who can determine whether or not you get to play. That's all you got to do, but, he probably doesn't want to do that.
And the Nets said, as I mentioned in you mentioned in the update, refused to unequivocally say that he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, nor acknowledge specific hateful film. And the Nets said this was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify again that he unequivocally has no anti-Semitic
the
views.
statement you read before was a statement that was prepared for him. And then he did a little ad-lib afterwards. So Dan is in from Artisanal Cheese. Good morning, Daniel. Pull up the microphone. Get it right,
morning,
nice
Bill.
and close enough to catch COVID. Good morning.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Good to see you. All right. So, I see you brought in some. So now green. Why are the half moons green as opposed to white and blue? By the way,
green and blue are significant for the launch of this new Utica Proud application.
I see. And the green and blue.
And we're working with the city colors.
And the mayor cannot help but steal from the Comets. That's what's going on here. He likes the Comets colors. These are Comets
the old
colors.
Comets colors.
You're right, the old Comets colors. He hasn't updated. Those should be red and black. He is not updated. So this is the color of their color scheme of their new campaign.
Yeah, it is. It's a great campaign.
It is, yeah.
It's going to be great for all the local businesses in the community.
Can you explain what this is? So, by the way, you don't win points. You don't earn points when you spend. You earn half moons.
Yeah, that's been terrific, Bill. For the
it's a great honor on you guys right there.
Sure, Mayor Palmieri's always been a supporter of the business and myself and all that we're doing, and it's so great for us to be the coin of choice for this great campaign.
Okay, explain how this works.
It's pretty straightforward. The app is a Utica Proud. You can download it onto your phone. And once you're connected to the app and to your credit card, you could use it to make purchases at participating retailers.
Okay.
And those purchases accumulate into half moon coins. They are actually cash credits that you could redeem at certain retailers. So a retailer, for instance, Hemstraut's, is a participating retailer where you could earn points. It's also a redeeming retailer where you can cash them in.
Okay, so if you spend money, you're going to earn points or half moons.
Half moons.
And then once you accumulate so many half moons, you can say, I want to use my half moons, I want to use my points, and put it towards the purchase.
Sure, and at any participating retailer. So you can cash in your half moon points at a flower shop, a bagel store, Hemstraut's, wherever.
I think I saw you on TV last night. I saw Babes is involved in this, and Cookies Q and Creamery over there. I saw Jeff Stone on there on TV.
Willie's Bagels
Willie's Bagels, I
Willie's
saw that.
Bagels is one of the.
Pull that microphone right up there. If you
Willie's
could.
Bagels is one of the brand ambassadors, so he's into
okay.
it. So both of their locations are a part of it, and it's just really easy. Once your credit card is linked to the app, you never have to open up the app again until you're ready to redeem the points.
I see.
So as long as you're using that credit card, you're secretly earning those points.
Nice.
And then it's really easy to just redeem them. You show your phone to the cash register, and they take off the points.
But you must be spending the money at a participating vendor.
Sure.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
all right.
have to be in the system.
In the system. All right, I like this. And this is all part of the COVID money that they got, and they're trying to spur business, right? Get business going back in the city of Utica.
Yeah, and the timing is terrific. You know,
Yeah.
the holiday time where
time.
people are gifting and celebrating and having family functions. So it's going to last for over a year, but really it's to recycle community money back into the community. Yeah.
And I see if you could just talk about the, and I should bring this up for you, talk about the Half Moon containers that you have, which really are great for the holidays. If you're going to be traveling and you want to bring Utica stuff, of course you have the Weekender, which is really cool, which is a whole box loaded with a bunch of Utica stuff. But the way these containers work for the Half Moons, they're perfect because they don't move around, they don't get messy, and they're great to take places, right?
Yeah, the packaging was designed just for the points that you made, Bill, whether it's sold for the trays to be sold in our store or retail, and frankly shipped from hemstroughts.com across the country. They're designed with these little pods, so each Half Moon stays in its own little nest until
I like
it
that. Yeah.
arrives and keeps the frosting intact, and it's a great little vehicle.
And it works. All right, so what do you search for if you want to download the app? How do you...
You just go to your app store and you put in Utica Proud. You can also, a lot of the restaurants and stores that are a part of the program right now have little cards that you can just scan the QR code and download it right then and there.
Okay, cool.
And there's a couple of different promos going on for the first week as well.
All right, nice. Okay, get that app downloaded and spend at participating businesses. Any preview you want to give about what's coming up for the holidays? We're through Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. Here we go.
You know, for families to celebrate, we have, a new line of our artisan breads that we're producing. Of course, we have the artisanal cheese business. Our websites are always very vibrant during the holiday time, hemstrout.com and artisanalcheese.com. And with Colleen's help, we have a lot of new merchandising ideas that are gifty for the holidays.
Yes, and so coming in today, actually, we have new Hemstrout shirts, sweatshirts,
the swag,
fully fuzzy pullovers, so lots of new stuff that'll be in the store shortly.
All right, very cool.
I'm fuzzy on a Friday morning here. The Utica, the Weekender?
The Weekender.
The Weekender, yeah. I wanted to mention that these are great for if you have family in town for Thanksgiving or
It's
or
a
Christmas.
box with everything,
Right.
a whole bunch of Utica stuff, including the cheeses
and you lay it out, and maybe you have wine, or maybe you just have water, whatever it might be. But it just kind of takes care of itself. That you can put it out, people can help themselves, and you've got something great to share with everybody. And I'm always struggling to what do I put out? What do I? Nobody wants pigs in a blanket for the 9th time for card night. So
good point.
This is a great way to go.
And actually, Babes is sending me this right now. They're participating. You can use this app at Babes at 72 Tavern. You can use it at Aquavino. You can use it at Taylor and the Cook, Cookies Q and Creamery, and also at the Comets Team Store. Starting today, the winner now gets a choice. Oh, I like that. You could get that. We'll get into that coming up with our free money question. And of course, Hemstroughts and artisanal cheese. Take advantage of this. Take advantage of it now and earn your Half Moons. I love it. Okay, Dan. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Bye, Jeff.
We'll break. Coming up, we'll bring the. I want to squeeze in our comedian quickly, Eric Grady. Bring him in for a few minutes, and then a local business is taking a stand. I'll explain the guest who's coming in and what stand they're taking here today. I think this is pretty big, and it's a business we all know very well. We'll do it coming right up at WIBX.
Julie Groh-Denton, longtime practicing attorney and law clerk in federal, state supreme, and county surrogate court. Julie Groh-Denton, high school valedictorian, honors graduate from Bucknell and Harvard Law. Julie Groh-Denton, candidate for state Supreme Court.
I'm Julie Groh-Denton. Every community deserves to have judges in whom you take great pride.
From an early age, my parents instilled a love of family and a strong work ethic. Born and raised near my dad's family in Rome, vacations and holidays with my mom's family in the North Country. My career has brought me to courtrooms and law offices across our region, all while raising 2 children with my husband, driving them throughout Central New York for scholastics and sports. I know our communities. I value the importance of treating others with respect. I love the law, and I will make you proud. I ask for your vote.
Elect Julie Grow Denton to State Supreme Court. Paid for by the committee to elect Julie Grow Denton for Supreme Court.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
This year, we, the people of Oneida County, have a choice. We can bow down to the political establishment, or we can stand up on our own 2 feet. I'm Marima Smagic Oren. The race for Oneida County Clerk is more than just another election. It's a fight to decide who runs this county, the people or the politicians. Mary Finnegan's made her choice. She's the establishment's candidate, taking orders from the establishment's bosses. The difference between Mary Finnegan and me? She's running because she'll do what Tony Picenti tells her to do. I'm running because I know what to do. I'm an attorney and a real estate professional who works with the county clerk's office day in and day out. I'm a lawyer who knows the clerk is indispensable to New York State Supreme Court. My opponent files dog licenses and hands out parking permits. I deal with deeds, mortgages, and Supreme Court judges. I'm Marima Smagic Oren. I put people over politics. Paid for by the Friends of Marima Smagic Oren.
Hi, this is John Calabrese. Is your company looking to hire qualified, dependable employees but unsure of where to look? Let Express Employment Professionals take on the recruitment and hiring process for you. We're a locally owned, full-service staffing firm. We'll help you find your next star employees. Business decisions come down to time and money, and Express can save you both. We take on finding employees for you so you can focus on meeting your business goals. Find us on the web at expressmohawkvalley.com for details on how to get started.
Are you looking for a great job? Stop searching. ECR International is hiring for assemblers and maintenance technicians. You could be working for the company that actually helped kickstart the world-famous Boilermaker Road Race. Both of the positions that we're currently hiring for offer excellent pay with a full benefits package. Instead of waking up every day dreading work, wake up and have a fulfilling job working for a great local company. Work for ECR International. To find out more, just call Express Employment at 315-790-5723.
Somebody should tell Kathy Hochul Halloween is over. She's still trying to scare you about Lee Zeldin. The guy's a suburban dad with a wife and 2 teen girls. Enough already. Okay, you might not be thrilled about voting for a Republican. Me neither, and I won't make it a habit, but things have got to change. Under Hochul, you know what's happening with crime. Cashless bail? Come on. It's not just crime. It's the cost of living. Just paying bills. Hochul delivers the most expensive state budget in history, then acts like she's doing you a favor by spending it? Besides, with all these people moving out of state, who's gonna get the bill? You. Hochul's already backed higher taxes 11 times. Lee Zeldin is the best hope we have to change things. The way I see it, you can vote for Hope, or you can vote for Hochul.
Paid for by Safe Together New York, Inc. This communication was not expressly authorized or requested by any candidate or by any candidate's political committees or any of its agents.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, I was just explaining how Eric Grady, good morning.
Good morning.
Is in studio. He's a comedian at Fat Cats Comedy Club this weekend. I was just explaining how Eric can... Is it a girlfriend or what do you have?
I have a girlfriend.
Okay, how she can watch and see the whole thing live on YouTube Live. Just go to YouTube, search Keeler live stream, and we're right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, Eric Grady.
Good
How are you?
morning. I got it. Thank you. I got the link.
Perfect.
I sent it to her. Hopefully she's able to
Holy
jump on.
crap, you're tall.
Well, to you, to me, it's normal.
It is. You're right. That's true.
How tall are you? That came out wrong. I didn't mean it like that.
I love this guy already.
It was an accident.
Yeah. Good point.
Slipped.
Yeah. Let's just say it won't be easy for someone to take our picture together.
Yeah. Well, they just have to back up, is what you're saying?
They're going to have to back
Somebody's
up.
head's going to get cut off. It happens to me all the time.
It's terrible. I'm down about your waist.
So what is it? What, you got a number?
I'm like 5. Let's see. How do I exaggerate? I would say I'm
Give me
about,
a real number.
About 5'5".
Are you serious? 5'5"? I want to high five
5'4".
you so bad I can't stand it.
Yeah,
'Cause
knock you
you'll
right
never
into the
reach
ground,
it.
though.
You'll
Yeah.
never reach it. You'll have to get a running start or climb up or something like that. It'll be hysterical.
I'm always on a stool. No worries. Okay, there's always a ladder nearby. Yeah, it's one of those things. And like you. Someone will say that you and I are very similar. No, you would, and I'm saying, what I'm saying is, people, you've been this way your whole life. I have been this. It's not new, right? There's a freaking fly. You brought it with you.
I didn't know. I got the one last night.
Okay, we're trying to get rid
of it.
it.
It's a bug. That's
but you know
different.
what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's my favorite is people come up to me and they start with the question to ask me the question. They come up and they go, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" I go 6'9", and they go, "How'd you know?" I'm like, "I have no idea how." I have no idea how I knew that.
How tall are you? Yeah, so that's the big
6'9",
question.
Mm-hmm. And then the next one is, do I play basketball and stuff like that?
Did you play basketball?
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to.
Yeah, I thought I did. It's amazing how
I did.
omniscient you are.
I did a long time ago. Yeah.
And now you do comedy. What got you going down that road?
I was too skinny to play pro or anything like that. I'm 6'9", but I've been 155 pounds my whole adult life. So it's So I got pushed around a lot. But I just
You were not 155 pounds.
Yeah.
Are you really?
I might be a little heavier now.
Wow.
But it's way funnier if I say 155.
I guess you're right.
I still stick with the old story. But yeah, I got started doing comedy. I've always just kind of joked around with people to I guess for some kind of acceptance or something. I remember doing it in high school and kind of developing a personality a little bit more in high school because I was very shy. I still am, but not like I was then.
So I think the very interesting thing is I think once you get on stage, you're in your element, and the shyness just is completely gone.
There's a lot of comedians that I know
like
of who are quite shy, and
I agree.
And so, but that stage is just a place where you can say where you can just go and you can be you, and the lights are in your eyes, so you can't really see much audience.
Yeah, that's a good
and so
point.
you just you're just in your own place.
And if someone wants to talk, the mic's always louder than that person, so that always helps.
Almost
always.
It's
Good
supposed
point.
to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. All right, hang tight. We're going to get you in here for a little longer and a little bit. Eric Grady at Fat Cats Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow night. You can get tickets by going to fatcatscomedyclub.com. I have something I have to get to here, which was an ad this morning. Some breaking news that I would say is pretty big. Here's the story, and we're going to speak with Rose Schneider coming up in just a moment. The Observer-Dispatch, which we all know has moved out of its old office. Newspapers have been struggling, but so has radio and television. Media in general has struggled, especially since after COVID. But there is a walkout today. Call it a strike. Call it a work walkout. And the entire staff of the Observer-Dispatch, the Times-Telegram, are walking out today in protest of working conditions. This is just developed, and we're going to speak with someone who can explain it all to us coming right up. Very interesting, right?
You said the entire staff, they're both going?
Well, that's part of
the argument, right?
That's part of the problem. And I think that is not exclusive. Let's just say that's not exclusive to newspaper. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right, we'll bring her right in. Stand by. Quick break. Coming right back. 7:39 at WYBX.
Mark Rose's experience is unique. City Court judge in Little Falls for the last 14 years. Visiting judge for Utica. As a 30-year practicing attorney, Mark Rose has argued cases at all levels up to the Court of Appeals. He's served as a municipal attorney in towns and villages across New York's 5th Judicial District. And now Mark Rose is running for state Supreme Court to serve all of us. Experience, integrity. Mark Rose for state Supreme Court.
Paid for by the committee to elect Mark Rose for state Supreme Court.
Hey there, it's Jeff Manaski from WIBX. You know, the amount of people doing business online has skyrocketed. Are you stuck in the past and ready to move into the future? It's never been more important to make sure that your business is online. Town Square Interactive can help. Town Square Interactive can help you find more customers online and help you grow your business. The best part? It's fast, easy, and there are no contracts. If you want to find out more, just visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Hello, I'm Joanne Moskal, Chief Operating Officer for Hospice and Palliative Care. At Hospice, we often hear that caregivers think of hospice as giving up, but what they are really doing is giving their loved one the opportunity to make the most of the time they have together. When a patient is appropriate for hospice, they've already been diagnosed with a terminal illness. You are not giving up on your loved one. Instead, you are increasing their care by compassionate nurses to ensure they remain comfortable throughout their disease. We want to know what is most important to you and what a good day looks like to the patient and to you. Together, we will design the care you want on your terms. We often hear, we wish we had called hospice sooner.
Hospice and Palliative Care, servicing Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison County. Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
Injury crash? 2-door, 4-door, SUV, motorcycle, big truck. At William Attar, we're New York's largest motor vehicle accident firm, helping those injured in New York State. If a crash caused the death of a loved one, call William Attar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. Call William Attar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse, 315-444-4444.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 7:41. I will get to the free money question coming up, and we have some changes too with that. But we do have some breaking news here. Rose Schneider is with the Observer Dispatch, and I'll let you explain exactly what's about to happen today, Rose. I've called it a walkout. I think I've made a few errors in describing this. Not absolutely everyone is walking out. Give us in a nutshell what's happening. And pull that mic. You have to kind of be good and tight on it. So
it's good.
Yes,
awesome.
Perfect.
So essentially, we have a majority of members of the Utica News Guild, which represents staff at the Utica Observer Dispatch and Herkimer Times Telegram, participating in a 24-hour work stoppage. So that's going to be from 5 a.m. today till 5 a.m. tomorrow.
So it is a work stoppage.
It is a work stoppage, yep.
All right. What is, and I have to say, people have witnessed the last couple of years with the OD. It's been tough to, this tradition, the Observer Dispatch, has been such a tradition, as newspapers have been across the country. But what we've witnessed is a lot of change. I think people don't realize the type of change that you guys have felt.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I started at the OD fall of 2019. So but even before I started, there's been obviously a marked decline.
Yeah.
You know, there's been layoffs, hiring freezes, cuts made. But basically after the Gatehouse-Gannett merger, we've seen even more, of a steep decline. And, our biggest concern right now is our staff size. Our membership right now of the Utica News Guild is 10 people. And since we don't have an editor right now, we're having editors be sort of reviewing our work remotely from papers in, Binghamton and Rochester. That's our whole staff.
And we can see that. So,
Yeah.
for instance, when an editor is editing and they're clarifying where Herkimer is in relationship to Utica in a story, you realize that story wasn't written by someone from here. And it wasn't edited by somebody from here. And you lose that local flavor of your local newspaper.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think the other issue is what we're currently in the middle of collective bargaining for a new contract. It's a contract that has expired years ago that we've been working under. We started bargaining at the beginning of the year. And what we're trying to, fight for, I mean, one of the main things is just better wages and benefits and layoff protections, because, the other issue besides hiring freezes and layoffs is the turnover rate. We're seeing people leave for other papers. We're seeing people leave the industry altogether. And, you're not going to have, if you're not treating the people who cover your local news well, how can they be a part of that community?
When you say you're down to 10 people, does that include the Times-Telegram as well?
Yep, the Times-Telegram has one sports reporter and one news reporter, no editor.
Wow.
Yeah, and no editor, obviously, at the OD since August. The Times-Telegram's basically been functioning, as, and that's why we're including them in our unit, as a branch of the OD. You'll see that, obviously, the news on both sites is basically the same.
It is, Jeff.
You're in the midst of just to recap, you're in the midst of a 24-hour work stoppage, and it involves the Utica OD and the Herkimer Times-Telegram. Are you fearful that maybe they're going to look to find somebody to replace you, not only for today and stories that you might be covering, but in the future because you've pulled, I don't know, they might think this is a stunt. Do you have some job security concerns?
No, retaliation is protected, under the NL, or I should say we are protected, we're protected from retaliation, under the NLRA.
So you formed a union here. How long has the union been in existence?
It's actually been a long-established union. We recently joined the New York News Guild local, but for a long time the Utica News Guild was its own local, and I honestly have been trying to figure out our origin date, but it goes back, decades, and I think the thing is that a lot of our, bargaining power declined in the last few decades, and just got worse and worse contracts, worse and worse benefits.
And can I just clarify? I don't think that they would call you and go, "Hey, because of the stunt you did today, you're no longer on our team." But I mean, you know how this works. It's how you got to the point where we are now, where it's such a small staff. Well, we're restructuring, we're merging, we're regionalizing.
At this
they
point,
have
though,
different names for it, but they target who they want.
At this point, you can't have any fear. You have
Correct,
to be
yeah.
you must be in a position where you're willing to lose everything you have to get what you feel you need.
Like at this point, what are they going to do now? They laid off. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they going to do now? They've laid off. They laid off the sole reporter at the Mid-York Weekly. They shuttered that paper. We're protected from the furloughs, which is one of the reasons that we decided to walk out, is they had imposed employees to take a forced unpaid time off at the end of December for 5 days.
We didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah, no, it's they're trying to stop our 401k contribution, but we're protected because we are in a union. But I mean, at this point, like, what are they going to do to us?
Right. And what do you have to lose at this point?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Now listen. The public has seen the decline of the paper. The fact that you've left the gigantic building that you were a part of for so many years. Now moved into a smaller office. You're being attacked from the paper in Rome. They're going directly at you, and many of the employees have left for there or elsewhere. And you guys are left to hold down the fort with an angry public saying, "Where's my newspaper?" How does that feel?
Well, it is frustrating because I think, when the building was sold, there was some misinformation that, we were closing down completely. And I want to remind the public that we're here. I mean, we have people on our staff, in our union, who they're homeowners in Utica and in the Mohawk Valley. Some people have lived in this area their whole life. We're community members. We are concerned about this decline in local news too. And I'll say with the Sentinel, I mean, I think their expanding is a good strategy, but I think that it would be a downgrade to our community if we are reduced to just one area newspaper.
Correct. Do you feel that there is a chance that that Gannett wants to do that?
Basically, you mean like close our paper?
Close down the OD?
I mean, I would hope not. I would hope that we know that they're definitely moving towards a digital push.
Right.
They're moving away from print.
Sooner or later, there will be no printed version, I would assume.
Yeah, they've cut Saturday print.
Yeah.
But I would hope that they would know that that would be a disservice to their community, because they're claiming that they're serving communities. They're claiming that they're proponents of diversity and transparency. But we know in bargaining talks with them that they're not.
Yeah.
They push back against that.
Tell me, so I received some word that we believe that the publisher of the paper, so your publisher currently is out of town, is that correct? What role does Mike Killian play?
Oh, Mike Killian is our New York State editor. So he's
Okay.
based out of Rochester. He is the editor of the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle.
Who used to be here?
He did
Yeah.
used to be in Utica, and I will credit him, like,
He was in town, is what I'm saying. I heard
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
he
in
was in
town
town, yeah.
recently, and was it a part of negotiation? Was he explain that if you could?
Oh no, so Mike, I'll credit Mike. He has been coming down to the Utica just to kind of check in on us.
He's a newspaper guy.
Yeah, he's a newspaper guy. I think we have really good, respectful conversations about the way news works. The way we're doing bargaining is all via Zoom. It's all
okay.
It's
All
all
right.
remote.
Everything's remote.
Everything is remote, because
Yeah.
we started bargaining in January this year. We were still unsure really about meeting a person. We also have our bargaining team. I should mention that it's not just our shop. This is at
There's
Gannett
almost
Papers.
about 10 other papers that are doing this.
We are joined by at least 7 other shops.
Okay.
And I think that might encompass multiple papers because of the way that those shops are structured. But we have members from those other papers who join us in those bargaining talks, who are a part of that, and I have to credit them for really having our back. And we have theirs. I mean, these are some very new shops. For some of them that have formed only like a year or so ago.
Okay. How obviously to take this move, this is a big. People might not realize, but this is a big deal. What you're about to do is a big deal. You agree?
Oh,
and I'm sure you've had plenty of thought about it, plenty of discussion. This is a big message you're attempting to send here.
Yeah, I think it's really, like you mentioned earlier, I mean, what kind of choice do we have in order to get our message across to the company? And we know it's a big deal. We've had a lot of discussions about this among members, multiple meetings, group chats, trying to decide how we wanted to handle this. I should note one of the things that was a huge factor is we are launching, I'm not sure if it's up yet, but we are launching a strike, essentially an online strike paper with the rest of our Gannett Regional Union, which is those 5 other shops in the Atlantic region who are joining us. And it won't be as expansive, obviously, as a regular paper, but if we have breaking news, sports coverage, that's a huge thing tonight. I'm going to be actually helping out our sports reporter with covering high school football game tonight. That'll be up online so people don't lose out on, what local news brings.
Okay, this is interesting. So you're publishing an alternative paper online over the course of the next 24 hours, and it's basically a strike paper. I love this. So rebellious.
I know. Yeah,
that's
I love
really
that
cool.
part, too.
Okay, how do people get that?
So actually, let me just pull this up. I want to make sure I have.
Because we'll I don't mind. We'll publish that crap for you. I'll put that link up. We should put that up, right? I
So
like it.
it's going to be Gannett. So that's GANNETT unions. So UNIONS.org/Utica.
Okay, GannettUnions.org/Utica.
That's correct.
And for the next 24 hours, there will be news provided by the people who are in the midst of a walkout.
Yep. I can't say that it's going to be, like I said,
Right.
as expansive, but if something, hopefully I haven't missed anything since breaking homicide case, something
Right,
like that, something major announcements will go on there. Like I said, big thing is high school sports, because high school sports has really been hurt by this.
No doubt
we're
about
one
it,
sports
yeah.
reporter at the OD now.
Yeah. Who is the sports reporter you have at the OD? Are there 2? Is there one in the Valley and one here?
So John Rathman is in the
John,
Valley.
I love John. I worked
He's
with
great.
John for many years. So.
He's excellent. Noah Ram is our
Okay.
And he's fairly I shouldn't say he's fairly new because he's been around for a while now, but I believe he started sometime this year.
We're speaking with Rose Schneider. She's with the Observer-Dispatch. They are doing a work stoppage for the next 24 hours, starting at 10 o'clock today.
It's 5 a.m.
At 5 a.m. So it's already underway.
It's already underway because we have
the
news
walkout.
producers
You'll be standing in front of the building at 10 a.m. Is that correct?
10:30 a.m. We're going to
Okay.
be in front of our new office at 70 Genesee Street, so it's
Okay.
right by Utica Coffee, so you can get a coffee.
Yep. All right.
You can come see us. We'll be there to talk to people. We'll have signs and talk more about why we're doing this.
You have many people who have gone to other papers and have gone to the Rome Sentinel. In fact, they probably are making more money. What has kept you at the OD?
What has kept me here? No, I definitely was. I'll be honest. Like I didn't have a full offer, but I did have people reaching out, talking to me about the Sentinel. But I mean, the thing is, I am proud of our news coverage here. I think there's obviously the place for the Sentinel, which is they're much more hyper-local, focused on Rome. But I think we do really good work when we are, able to have the time to do it. I know we're all kind of basically feeling like we're drowning in the, the area news that we can cover.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proud of what we've done.
Can I just say something? Obviously, we've seen this in many different areas, but I think what you're trying to convey is there are cuts that come down, and you have fewer people, and there's still all the news that's going on in the community. Mm-hmm. The reporters, the members of the team, take pride in that, so they don't want to put out something that's missing a big story in the city or in a town. So you basically eat those hours. You work all this time and spend all this time doing something that you're not getting compensated for because the guy who had that beat, or the guy or the girl, who had that beat is now cut, right? So you don't want to put out an incomplete paper or incomplete story. And then when people see you, they go, Rose or John or Jim, how did you miss this? Why did you miss this? And you're like, well, I was doing 15 things. They know there is a pride in the reporter. You talk about what you put out. That you just basically absorb the additional work, and they think they can just not compensate you for it or add somebody. You're giving me the look like
I'm giving you the look like, are we interviewing you here?
No, I felt like what she was saying, what was missing there is, and you didn't come out and say it, is you take pride in your work,
Yes.
and you want to inform the community about these things, but it becomes difficult when you're the only one pulling the sled.
These jobs mean something. They're not just jobs. It means something to you.
No, exactly. And a lot of us went into this, you go into journalism and you're warned you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not, it's going to be tough. People are going to dislike you. They're going to send you hate mail. You're going to work crazy hours. You're going to work till midnight on election night. But the thing is, I think at a certain point you can't just say, well, I'm doing this because, it's the dream. I'm doing it for a good cause, because eventually, like, you have families you want to take care of or want to start. You want to become a fixture in your community, but you can't do that if you're not getting paid, if you're not getting compensated fairly.
Correct, yeah.
And you're working on this with this skeleton crew of people and being told further and further to pull back on your, local news coverage.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Just don't do A, B, and C anymore, and no one will notice.
Yep.
By the way, and all of this at a time, just from the consumer standpoint, this is all happening at a time where there's fewer local stories in the newspaper, and the paper keeps going up and up in terms of price. Like I'm in a battle. I feel like I'm in a walkout with the OD also because I'm not paying my bill. They want like almost $400 for a Sunday paper and a digital subscription. And what I used to pay compared to this is like, you got to be kidding me. And they automatically the fine print was you have a subscription and we renewed it for you. I'm not trying to complain, but wait a minute. I am complaining, right?
Are we interviewing you or Rose?
That's a good point. Thank you. But you see, and you guys are stuck in the middle of all of this. You want more local news in the paper, but you don't have the people to do it.
No, exactly. And like you're saying about like the cost and everything like that, I think there's definitely various models that might work better, but right now all we're trying to handle is just trying to improve the product that's coming out.
All right.
And yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, it's kind of heartbreaking when you have to figure out which, local news story you can cover and which is getting pushed off.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you also have to tell people, like, if you laid off this person, I can't take on that extra work. If their work was that valuable, you shouldn't have laid them off.
Yeah. Outside people making inside decisions, right?
Exactly.
Okay, well, Rose, brave move. Congrats, and thank you for being the one that came forward and got on the radio and talked to us. It means an awful lot.
No, absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's nice, obviously, to support local news.
It is, and I think we all can identify. So. You'll be out there. The work stoppage began at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the paper that you can log on to, which is a special strike paper that you're putting together, once again is
GannetUnions.org/Utica.
Manaski has a good memory. Mine's weak. Okay, and you'll be out at 10:30 today in front of your new office, so people can check that out and maybe honk a horn of support.
Yeah, definitely come visit us. Come, offer your support, and keep an eye out on our site. Like I said, I'll be helping out with sports coverage later on tonight at CVA, and we have a website and we have some links up, on our social media of how you can help.
And the other question would be just a little bit about you. Where are you from? What brought you to the OD and to the area?
So I am originally from a village. You're not going to guess how it's actually spelled. It's called Valatia. It's in Columbia County, so it's about half an hour south of Albany, 20 minutes north of Hudson. I was working for a while at a weekly that is owned and operated by 3 editors in the western half of Albany County, and then I wanted to move on to a daily. I wanted to move to a mid-sized daily, like the OD. And,
And here you are.
Yeah, basically they offered it to me in 2019, and I kind of packed up and moved out to this area, and of course, we saw the decline, the pandemic hit, but yeah.
Didn't expect all of this.
Did not expect it at all, no.
Yeah. Well, good luck. We support you guys, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
WIBX Utica Rome, it is 8 o'clock.
About his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped. And sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
It's deadline day for the former Commander-in-Chief. Fox's Ryan Schmelz explains.
The committee investigating the January 6 attack on the Capitol has asked former President Trump to turn over important documents in response to a subpoena today. The committee voted unanimously back in October to subpoena the former president. Republican Wyoming Congresswoman and committee vice chair Liz Cheney said this week during an event in Cleveland that testimony with former President Trump would be under oath and potentially over multiple days.
I think that he has a legal obligation to testify, but that doesn't always carry weight with Donald Trump.
That courtesy of the City Club of Cleveland. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
And the FBI investigating a shot fired at the home where the children of North Carolina Republican candidate Pat Harrigan, who's running for a seat in the House of Representatives, often stay.
This all started at the very beginning of this campaign when my opponent
started to lie about me. And I'm not talking about just normal lies. I'm talking about vile and nasty lies.
Harrigan last hour on Fox and Friends. The incident took place last month, according to officials, but the revelation comes out at a time when there's plenty of security concerns for political figures and their families. Hearing something and saying something may have prevented a tragedy in Michigan. A 10-year-old boy taken out of his school after reportedly telling another student that he wanted to shoot up the school like Ethan Crumley. Crumley's the teen accused of opening fire in his high school in Oxford last year, killing 4 people. He pled guilty to the charges against him last week. The young student in Lake Orion hasn't been charged. Tornado threat for parts of Texas. Fox Weather's Nick Koser.
Talking about some very heavily populated spots, Dallas, Bryan, Shreveport. There's a big old tornado threat, too, and this is the real deal here. Possibly EF2 or greater.
Download the Fox Weather app, available at App Store and Google Play, and turn to the critical alerts to keep you and your family safe. I'm CJ Papa. This is Fox News.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
We have clear skies, 49 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX News Time 8:05. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Well, our top story this morning, Bill, and I'll kick it to you for a summary here. A walkout from the Utica area newspaper.
It's more than a walkout. It's a work stoppage is what it's being called. Rose Schneider is a part of the union at the Observer-Dispatch. It includes the Times-Telegram as well, which is the newspaper down in the valley. At 10:30 today, they will have a demonstration outside their new offices, which is located next to Utica Coffee. You'll see them out there today. It's about work conditions. It's about the fact that more and more people are being laid off, which means the few that are left, they say, are responsible for everything. And if you're like us and you're complaining, God, there just aren't any news stories in the OD anymore, any local stories, they're saying that's because there's no one left. And they're trying to make a statement to Gannett. It'll be very interesting to see where this goes. There is an alternative strike newspaper. I mean, this is quite rebellious. An alternative newspaper today, and it is, you have it, it's Gannett.
GannettUnions.org/Utica.
And if you go to that, they'll be reporting on the current news, but not at uticaod.com. Again, 10:30 today with their strike, if you will. The walkout began at 5 a.m. this morning and will last until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And we would encourage everybody as well to, for local news, you can always visit WIBX950.com. Bill, a story I'm working on right now, Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshiel says 4 deputies were exposed to fentanyl as a result of an overdose investigation. It happened yesterday afternoon as authorities responded outside the District of Rome for a woman who had reportedly overdosed. Deputies located the victim and assisted with EMS. They carried her down a flight of stairs where emergency medical personnel then treated her, and she was taken to a local hospital. However, a short time later, some deputies began to experience symptoms of fentanyl exposure that included severe headaches and dizziness. 2 of the deputies had to have Narcan administered to them. One was taken to a local hospital. In fact, 2 were taken to a local hospital. The other 2 were evaluated at the scene and treated there. They continue to recover, and we'll talk about this, in fact, with Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mayshiel coming up this morning at 8:30 right here on Keeler. Utica police investigating an afternoon shooting that resulted in at least 1 person being injured. Cops were called to the 1500 block of Kemble Street yesterday. Officers say they found over 15 spent shell casings. No one came forward to say they were injured, but about an hour later, a man showed up at the hospital saying he'd been shot in the leg. He's expected to survive. Police looking for information. You can anonymously submit information via MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com. A well-known Utica restaurant up for sale, Tiny's Grill on State Street near Oneida Square, is being listed by Coldwell Banker Faith Properties. Asking price $380,000. The nearly 5,500 square foot building, known for its cozy atmosphere, great food, and of course the Blues Brothers sitting on the roof that welcome you as you walk in. And New Yorkers who want to cast their ballots in person ahead of Election Day are running out of time to do so. Of course, Election Day is this coming Tuesday, November 8th. Early voting continues through this weekend, though. If you'd like to cast your ballot early, just head to our website, WIBX950.com. You can find early voting hours and locations for Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison counties right on our website, again, WIBX950.com. Your Weather Center forecast calling for gorgeous weather. I wonder if the comedian brought this weather up with him.
I got to
so
tell
nice.
you, Eric Grady, this is going to be, first of all, beautiful weather, not necessarily great for comedy. I mean, we are hoping for thunderstorms, rain at about 6 p.m. Both tonight and tomorrow.
Well,
that'll help.
He's tall enough to manipulate the clouds, I feel. So.
If you can work on that.
I'll see what I can do.
But we're going to have some beautiful weather this weekend. Crazy.
Absolutely. Right now we have clear skies, 49 degrees, but heading into the weekend, we'll have sunny skies for your Friday afternoon, a high today of about 70 degrees. In fact, 70 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 54. Partly sunny Saturday, 72. Sunday, chance of rain showers, mainly early in the day. Otherwise cloudy, a high of 73. And this will linger into Monday as well, sunny with a high of 65. As I mentioned, clear, 49 right now. WIBX News Time is 8:10.
All right, by the way, I just went to GannetUnions.org/Utica, and there's some stuff up there you can check out. Last night, so Thursday Night Football, the Eagles, the game was tied at halftime. Looked like it was going to be a heck of a second half, and it wasn't, as the Eagles remain unbeaten and go with a 29-17 win over Houston last night. Now, in baseball, Houston was a little more successful as they beat the Phillies 3-2, a very tight game. I'm sorry, what was the final?
3-2, yeah.
3-2?
Yeah.
And it's now the current
3-2.
The current is 3 games to 2. They'll go back to Houston for that. And, that's going to be potentially a disaster for Philadelphia. This weekend, there's a lot of football. The Bills and Jets go at it on Sunday, 1 o'clock game. Davey's a little nervous about this game. I feel the same way. Right, Davey? This is the Jets 10. It's a rivalry. Jets-Bills. It's a rivalry.
Right.
All bets are off. Well, the Bills have a third, I believe it's an 11.5-point favorite. They're 11.5-point favorites there. College football this weekend, Syracuse playing at Pittsburgh tomorrow. That is a 3:30 game. It'll be on the ACC network. Utica University is 7-1, their last home game, hosting Alfred. It's a 1 p.m. start at Gaetano Stadium. Utica University hockey playing 2 games at Stevenson this weekend, and there is a ton of high school football. Proctor is at CVA tonight. Whitesboro and New Hartford in Class A action. Whitesboro will host West Genesee in the semifinal today. The Spartans travel to Fayetteville Manlius. Camden and CVA both in play. Adirondack, Holland Patton playing tomorrow in Class C. Little Falls, Mount Markham, top seed Dolgeville in Class D, all still alive this weekend. And in 8-man football, number 2 seed Frankfort Schuyler hosting Bishop Grimes tonight. That game will be played at Sequoia Valley Central School. And, there's some horse racing action this weekend. The Breeders' Cup, right?
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Wait,
that's where Mayor
are you
Blask
serious?
is. Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, he mentioned that on the air yesterday.
Yeah, Mayor Blask of Little Falls. Wow, there's a lot going on. I just think we need a few extra people to be able to just do the sports report alone because there's just so much happening.
All right, I'm about to walk outside.
Okay.
And have a cigarette. I'll be right back.
Manaski does his walkout usually about 4 times a morning, and it usually involves a cigarette walking in the parking lot. It's 8:12. Got a break. Coming right back at WIBX.
In Albany, the only political party that matters is the majority party.
I'm Assemblywoman Mary Ann Buttonshaw, and I'm a member of the Assembly's majority. As a member of the Assembly, I do more for the Mohawk Valley. More funding for Utica, Rome, and Whitesboro schools than ever before. Almost $500,000 for local fire departments. $125,000 for the town of Deerfield. More funding from Albany means a stronger Mohawk Valley. Wolfspeed means good jobs. The Nexus Center means more recreation and tourism opportunities. Griffiths Business and Technology Park assures our future in high-tech economy. As a member of the Assembly, I brought your voice and your values to the state capitol and brought back expanded youth and senior program funding for our cities and towns and $1 million to assist our youth in crisis at the House of Good Shepherd. Given the chance, I'll do more. That's why the Friends of Mary Ann Buttonshaw paid for this message.
Injury crash? 2-door, 4-door, SUV, motorcycle, big truck. At William Attar, we're New York's largest motor vehicle accident firm, helping those injured in New York State. If a crash caused the death of a loved one, call William Attar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. Call William Attar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse, 315-444-4444.
Julie Groh Denton, longtime practicing attorney and law clerk in federal, state supreme, and county surrogate court. Julie Groh Denton, high school valedictorian, honors graduate from Bucknell and Harvard Law. Julie Groh Denton, candidate for state Supreme Court.
I'm Julie Groh Denton. Every community deserves to have judges in whom you take great pride. From an early age, my parents instilled a love of family and a strong work ethic. Born and raised near my dad's family in Rome, vacations and holidays with my mom's family in the North Country. My career has brought me to courtrooms and law offices across our region, all while raising 2 children with my husband, driving them throughout central New York for scholastics and sports. I know our communities. I value the importance of treating others with respect. I love the law, and I will make you proud. I ask for your vote.
Elect Julie Groh Denton to state Supreme Court.
Paid for by the committee to elect Julie Groh Denton for Supreme Court.
Hey there, it's Jeff Manaski from WIBX. You know, the amount of people doing business online has skyrocketed. Are you stuck in the past and ready to move into the future? It's never been more important to make sure that your business is online. Town Square Interactive can help. Town Square Interactive can help you find more customers online and help you grow your business. The best part? It's fast, easy, and there are no contracts. If you want to find out more, just visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Somebody should tell Kathy Hochul Halloween is over. She's still trying to scare you about Lee Zeldin. The guy's a suburban dad with a wife and 2 teen girls. Enough already. Okay, you might not be thrilled about voting for a Republican. Me neither, and I won't make it a habit, but things have got to change. Under Hochul, you know what's happening with crime. Cashless bail? Come on. It's not just crime. It's the cost of living. Just paying bills. Hochul delivers the most expensive state budget in history, then acts like she's doing you a favor by spending it? Besides, with all these people moving out of state, who's gonna get the bill? You. Hochul's already backed higher taxes 11 times. Lee Zeldin is the best hope we have to change things. The way I see it, you can vote for Hope, or you can vote for Hochul.
Paid for by Safe Together New York, Inc. This communication was not expressly authorized or requested by any candidate or by any candidate's political committees or any of its agents.
Hey, let's talk about Adirondack Bank. And that's not just what played just now, is it? Am I okay? I wasn't listening. Okay, good. Adirondack Bank and their mortgage options. They have many. If you're looking to buy, it could be your first home, or even a refinance, they have the perfect product to suit your needs. Their team of professional and dedicated staff can help you choose the right mortgage. It's an amazing concept, right? A mortgage that is tailored to the home buyers or the home owners, depending on what you're in the midst of here, if you were maybe downsizing, tailored to your needs. Fixed conventional mortgages, construction mortgages, FHA, VA mortgages, second home, vacation home, investment property, camp financing program, USDA rural housing loans, all there, perfectly fit, perfectly suited for your needs. It is true, your dream begins at Adirondack Bank, your dream home. Reach out today. It's a local bank with local decisions. Start online at adkbank.com. And it's Adirondack Bank, the perfect mortgage for what it is you're looking for at this next phase of your life. Adirondack Bank, member FDIC.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, here we go. Here in studio is comedian Eric Grady, who will be at Fat Cats Comedy Club this weekend, and Davey will give away some tickets coming up in a few minutes. Also, I have tickets to give away for Ricky Z's Billy Joel show at the Stanley Theater. Eric, good morning. Thanks for making You've had a chance to kind of get a bird's eye view of a whole plethora of things. Oh, no pun intended.
Everything is a bird's eye view for me.
No pun intended. He's the world's tallest comic, and you come in on an interesting morning, I think.
Yeah, I guess I have, haven't I?
When do the comedians, the stand-up comics, are like, we're done with this. The conditions are not good anymore. We're walking out.
Yeah.
Is that ever going to happen? Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess you get some people who are going, oh, they won't book me. Oh, then maybe it's
Well,
time to go.
maybe, right. There
But,
may be a reason for that.
Yeah. but, you know, there's also a whole bunch of comics who are still trying, and people for some reason keep trying to get in this business.
Yeah, they do. You owned a comedy club. We were just talking about this. You owned a club.
I did.
Perfect timing. You opened the club just before COVID.
Well, you know, comedy's all about timing.
It is.
And
You're right.
yeah, I did. We bought it right before COVID. We bought it in August before COVID started.
Okay.
And then we survived it, and then we sold it, or I guess I'm still part of it, but we're kind of out of it now. And we got a new owner, like about 3 months before Hurricane Ian came in and wiped out Fort Myers.
Wow.
So we got out. Our timing was amazing.
You got out. Just bad timing in the beginning, but perfect timing at the end.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it worked out for us. We didn't really lose anything, but we didn't make anything either. But that's fine. We had fun.
I'm
while
Liz
we were there.
Klayman, and this
And,
is the Fox Business Report.
I don't know where that's coming from. I guess Fox. I want to say, though, Manaski was talking about you yesterday, and we got onto the issue of hair. And he, although he's trying to grow his beard back right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his beard.
There's
Let me see the hair, though. He didn't want to see that. He didn't.
Well,
want to see
he's got hair.
Oh, he's got good hair.
Yeah, it's starting to thin a little bit, but he's doing some unique things with it. But the reason I bring this up is he's just shaved his beard.
Uh-huh.
And you are there's something about your height, your look. You have, and you said this yesterday, the perfect beard for your face and you.
I'm very handsome. No, yeah, you're getting the camera so they can see it.
Yeah, we kind of have to readjust it because your height.
Because of my height. You know, it's takes a lot of work and everything, but it's I get a lot of compliments on it, but I like it.
Yeah.
I've just started playing with it. I have a weak chin. Like my chin ends right there. That's the bottom of my chin. Right? No, my chin's about right there. But I've always had kind of a weak chin, and then I started growing the beard, and people seem to like it, and I seem to like it. I guess I like it, and my girlfriend loves it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
right.
so.
That is all that matters.
I had made the comment. They were telling me in the hallway that when I should, they go, "Well, you look like you're 12 years old now." You know, and I thought the same thing when I looked up a couple pictures of you. There was some bearded and some not, and I said,
yeah.
"This
My
guy
face
looks
looked
like
like a
he's
chicken cutlet."
40 years apart here in these two pictures."
Okay, so I was coloring my hair at the time, and my face looked like a chicken cutlet without the beard. Which, don't get me wrong, I love chicken cutlets. It's just not the look I was going for.
I
But,
understand.
But my brother's got a great jawline. It ticks me off because he's got a great jawline, but my jawline is just kind of straight into my neck.
Well, there's some people that they'll do the beard thing and it just becomes it's there. It's burly. It's But yours seems like the one you see. You could see his profile outside the barbershop. You know how all those
exactly.
right? They all have this profile of a person with a beard. And it's the perfect beard, and I think you have that.
Go and I want the tall comedian look.
Yeah, give me that
look.
Give me that.
The world's tallest comedian, like the Rachel from Friends, way back before you guys were born.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so I told you I live in Orlando.
Yes.
And I went out to Epcot one day, or we do that there.
Yeah.
And I was walking around, and I had a different girlfriend at the time. This was months and months ago. But anyway, this girl comes up to me, and she just comes up and kind of pulls me around the shoulder and kind of like, I'm like, what are you snapping my arm over for? And she goes, "Oh my gosh, you look like a sexy Santa." And I go, girlfriend right here, what are you doing? No, you look like a sexy Santa. Then she looks at the girl and goes, "Doesn't he look like a sexy Santa?" She goes, "Well, yeah. And she goes, he does. And then she pulls her boyfriend over. "Look, doesn't he look like a sexy Santa?" I'm going, this is getting weirder every person you bring up. And it just went on and on like that for a minute, and then the fireworks happened. The actual fireworks.
The fireworks, yes, which happen on the hour
right
every hour.
at the end. Well, at the end of the night.
Yes.
And anyway, so we go away. And then on the way out, the lady's walking out of the park at the same time I am. She goes, "Bye, sexy Santa." I'm like, oh, my gosh, this girl.
So this beard has gotten you some real action here.
I mean, I didn't take the action, right? But I guess it could.
It certainly opened the door. I mean, it opened your eyes.
True,
yeah.
I love how he said I was dating a different girl at the time. This was weeks ago.
No, I said months and months and months ago.
Well,
this is like a year ago. Do not get me in trouble. This one right here, this girlfriend I have now is amazing. You know, you asked me earlier, my wife and my girlfriend.
Yes.
She's my girlfriend, but not for lack of trying. And it's kind of, you know, how it's like the women are always like, oh, I want to get married. When's he going to ask me to get married? And me, I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's get hitched. But she's like, well, no, we got to wait and make sure we're going to we ain't got to wait.
Well, I got to tell you, he's saying all of what he's saying because he just gave her the link to the YouTube feed. She's watching right now.
Yes.
So,
well, I mean, I'm not saying that because of that, but
Yes, I
because she knows the story.
She knows.
She's probably tired of me bugging her about it, but I'm still working.
Stand by. We'll come back. He's at Fat Cats Comedy Club. Go to the website, Fat Cats Comedy Club, KATZ, fatcatscomedyclub.com. Billed as the tallest stand-up comedian in the world. And you'll see 6'9". He's pretty tall. Even looks worse when standing next to me. Okay, we're going to get into the Leading Edge Awards. We'll do that later on in the hour. Sheriff Rob Mashel. Do you know that the sheriff's deputies, I believe, were back on a call again? This fentanyl is unbelievable in that they just came in contact with the people, and one of the deputies they had to use Narcan on one of the deputies. They ended up hospitalized just because they came in contact with people who were in contact with the fentanyl.
I think it was actually two deputies had to go to the hospital.
How potent that drug is. Sheriff Mashel coming up later on in the hour as well. Stand by. 8:25 at WIBX.
People are running. Two very different people are running to become the next Oneida County clerk. One has made wild, false claims in her commercials, picked fights with the county executive, the county legislature, and others. She denigrates anyone who disagrees and clearly believes that her law degree has given her superpowers and the know-how to do everybody else's job. On the other side, there's Mary Finnegan, a level-headed, common-sense leader who served as clerk in the town of Whitestown for the last 17 years. She wrote and won a grant that modernized the office, made customer service a priority, and now wants to do the same for Oneida County. She will keep the Rome DMV open, and she'll work to improve the experience at all DMV locations. All this while protecting the public's private information. The fact is, there's no one better suited for this job. This election, please vote for experience. Vote Mary Finnegan, Oneida County Clerk. Paid for by Friends of Mary Finnegan.
Main wreckage on the south side of the tracks. Report of male driver, late 20s, severe injuries.
Copy that.
Can you see the vehicle?
No, it's way up there. I heard a witness say the stop arm was down, but he tried to beat the train anyway.
Too many drivers are killed crossing railroad tracks, even though they know a train is approaching. What they don't know is, even after it breaks, a train can take up to a mile to stop.
Requesting ambulance stretcher to shuttle crash victim back to the road.
Copy.
Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Mark Rose's experience is unique. City Court Judge in Little Falls for the last 14 years. Visiting judge for Utica. As a 30-year practicing attorney, Mark Rose has argued cases at all levels up to the Court of Appeals. He's served as a municipal attorney in towns and villages across New York's 5th Judicial District. And now Mark Rose is running for state Supreme Court to serve all of us. Experience, integrity. Mark Rose for state Supreme Court.
Paid for by the committee to elect Mark Rose for state Supreme Court.
Hi, this is John Calabrese. Is your company looking to hire qualified, dependable employees but unsure of where to look? Let Express Employment Professionals take on the recruitment and hiring process for you. We're a locally owned, full-service staffing firm. We'll help you find your next star employees. Business decisions come down to time and money, and Express can save you both. We take on finding employees for you so you can focus on meeting your business goals. Find us on the web at expressmohawkvalley.com for details on how to get started. Are you looking for a great job? Stop searching. ECR International is hiring for assemblers and maintenance technicians. You could be working for the company that actually helped kickstart the world-famous Boilermaker Road Race. Both of the positions that we're currently hiring for offer excellent pay with a full benefits package. Instead of waking up every day dreading work, wake up and have a fulfilling job working for a great local company. Work for ECR International. To find out more, just call Express Employment at 315-790-5723.
River Hills Properties remains the fastest growing real estate company in central New York. This is Bill Keeler. When my wife and I decided we were selling our home, we chose River Hills Properties for several reasons. One of them because the listing agent is there every time we show the house. That made all the difference in the world. The book, 30 to 100 pages filled with everything about the house, from the furnace, the warranties, everything was there. If you're looking to sell your home, contact Bill and Robin Monjo at River Hills Properties. Nobody sells homes like River Hills. Bonneville, Utica, and Little Falls.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Righty now. And Davey, how you doing in there? Everything all right with you in there? I mean, it's been a crazy morning, hasn't it?
Yes.
A lot of stuff going on.
I can handle anything.
You can. I've been watching Davey in there. He'll begin stretching and stuff when it gets busy. A lot of pressure on him. How about we give away some tickets to the Billy Joel tribute tonight at the Stanley Theater, Ricky Z's Billy Joel tribute. And you know it's going to result in kids at schools getting keyboards. That's what this is all about. In fact, Greeley Ford will be in studio in just a few minutes. He's here, actually. We'll speak with him in a minute about all of that. Davey, make it caller number... Why don't we give away 2 pairs? Caller number 2 and caller number 3. And that takes care of it, right? All right. You handling it?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, man. He's got it under control. Okay, in studio is Hannah right now from Mohawk Valley Edge. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
You become a fixture in this studio all of a sudden.
I know. I said to the door, I mentioned, I'm not going to be back for a while, but I might be back. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. All right, let's talk about what we're doing today. Each day this week, you have announced a Leading Edge Award recipient, and today is the final one to announce.
Yes. So today we will be featuring Margaret Chadwick with Wolfspeed.
And listen, this is a company that we're all keeping a very, very careful eye on. Margaret is on the line right now. Good morning, Margaret. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Let's just talk about where Wolfspeed is right now and how your introduction to this community is making a big impact very, very quickly.
Well, the first thing I'd remind us all about is that 2.5 years ago it was an empty field.
Good point.
So thanks to the tremendous amount of work from not only Wolfspeed employees, but the great partners we've had in this community. It's now employing over 300 people. We're set to double that in the next few years. And, the work that they'll be doing there will be advancing green technology, which, of course, saves energy, and that's great for all of us. In terms of the reception we've gotten from this community, I just can't say enough wonderful things about it. We very much feel like it's already home for us.
We're seeing in this world of chip technology a lot of advancement, and I believe there was just recently a contract that was signed that involves Wolfspeed, and was I reading it this morning at a car manufacturer?
Jaguar Land Rover.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited to have announced this partnership with a tremendous company, and they see the value of not only electric vehicles, but the value that silicon carbide's bringing to electric vehicles. And so we were very excited to announce that partnership this past Monday.
Yeah, that's a big deal, and we're just watching this industry explode in a good way, all at a time where there's a shortage of chips around the world, which means opportunity for, I would assume, for us and for Wolfspeed.
Absolutely. The demand pipeline that we're seeing in the long term, we predict that for 10 years or so that there will be demand for chips, but especially for silicon carbide. So we announced another bit of news we made on Monday was that we do intend to have yet another factory even, behind the Mohawk Valley one. So we're growing globally, and the demand is going to be there for years to come.
Can you talk about that factory?
About Mohawk Valley.
Yeah.
Yes, I couldn't say enough wonderful things about the Mohawk Valley.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to go there, you'd see over 300 employees walking and doing highly automated, high-tech work, and those are really the jobs of the future. You know, one of the things we're most excited to partner locally there in Mohawk Valley with middle schools, high schools, community colleges, and universities is to make sure that everybody understands that those high-tech jobs are for them. You know, these aren't for other people. These aren't for other places, other geographies. These jobs are for, we want those to be in the local community, for the local community. So that is something we'll be doing a lot more of in the coming years.
Well, it's really something that parents and grandparents have been yelling about for years. You know, we bring these kids up and they leave because they can't find a job here that is the big job that they've trained for in school and then off in college. And Wolfspeed really changes that opportunity for them. Hannah, I know that you have a few questions there.
Sure. So, Margaret, thank you very much for joining us, and I really appreciate your remarks on the Mohawk Valley. I will note that Adam Milton at the Marcy Fab also shares similar points of view when it comes to settling here, employees being here, and just the possibility for our area. So I'm going to get into a little bit more about Leading Edge and ask you now, what does receiving the Leading Edge Award from MV Edge mean to you, and what does it mean to Wolfspeed?
Well, to me, it really is a reflection of the work that we've been able to do together with the community. That, again, you know, we consider this now home for us. So anything we have been able to accomplish here, which we're very excited to have, you know, been able to hire people and get that factory built, but anything we've been able to do is a result of not only our team, but also the support we've received from the people and the organizations there in the region. So we really feel like this is an award we share with the entire community.
Okay, well, listen, a lot of people with a lot of eyes on Wolfspeed, with a lot of hope that this has, and really how much it's grown already and become a part of the community. Margaret, we appreciate it and congratulate you on the award, and hope you continue to grow here.
We thank you so much.
All right, thank you. That is Margaret Chadwick of Wolfspeed, and a pretty big deal, Hannah. This is they're making the big gains at a very speedy pace, which is exactly what we need here.
Exactly. It's amazing just to look at the aerial view of the property of what was quite literally a field, and is now truly state-of-the-art, bustling facility.
Well, it was a field, our field of dreams or our field of controversy, because everybody said this is never going to happen, right? It's not going to turn into anything. Nothing's going to happen up there. This is just pie in the sky. And it turns out it is real after all. So, Hannah, thank you. And one final, you've really had an opportunity to focus in on some of the leading businesses in the area that are doing big things for our community.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure to just connect with people and show folks what it's all about. I mean, we have locations ranging from Syracuse, Utica, North Carolina, Marcy, Old Forge, all of these areas just generating an impact, which is something that's great to highlight for people here.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us the time here. Quick break, and then I want to talk to Greeley. We'll bring comedian Eric Grady back in studio as well. Greeley Ford will be performing tonight at the Stanley Theater, along with so many others, for this Billy Joel tribute.
I thought it was Greeley Z. Are they all Z's at the end?
You gave him a different name. You did earlier, and it's going to be awesome tonight. Stand by. We'll speak with Greeley and his future coming up next on WIBX.
Julie Grow Denton, longtime practicing attorney and law clerk in federal, state supreme, and county surrogate court. Julie Grow Denton, high school valedictorian, honors graduate from Bucknell and Harvard Law. Julie Grow Denton, candidate for state Supreme Court.
I'm Julie Grow Denton. Every community deserves to have judges in whom you take great pride. From an early age, my parents instilled a love of family and a strong work ethic. Born and raised near my dad's family in Rome, vacations and holidays with my mom's family in the North Country. My career has brought me to courtrooms and law offices across our region, all while raising 2 children with my husband, driving them throughout Central New York for scholastics and sports. I know our communities. I value the importance of treating others with respect. I love the law, and I will make you proud. I ask for your vote.
Elect Julie Grow Denton to State Supreme Court. Paid for by the Committee to Elect Julie Grow Denton for Supreme Court.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, it's a Friday morning and so much to do as we head into the weekend and so much incredible weather. Tomorrow, Utica University plays its final home game. That's a 1 o'clock start over at Gaetano Stadium. It'd be a great day for you to check out Utica University football, right? We'll hit 75 tomorrow. Can't even believe it. Greeley Ford is in here this morning. Greeley, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
I know we're not going to talk much about this, but you've reached retirement, and you might as well retire while you're alive and well, and that's what you're doing, and we're gonna lose you here. Really saddened by that.
Candace and I are sad about it too. We're going to miss everybody a lot. I have some difficult mornings sometimes grappling with it. So, but like you said, we're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
If not now, when?
Not now, when?
I know sometimes it could be difficult and you struggle with it in the morning, but if you ever have one of those mornings when you're down south, you just turn on the WIBX 950 app or catch us on YouTube. It'll feel like you're right at home.
That's a habit I'm probably not going to break, unfortunately. I'll still be tuning into you guys. My alarm goes off at 6:15 every morning. And on Fridays, I don't really
So does
tune
Bill's.
in.
That's funny.
Yeah. Same time.
Yes.
On Fridays, maybe 6:20, 6:25, whenever I get done banging the drum all day, you know.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
works on a Friday.
Yeah.
So, and you know, with YouTube Live now, you have all these opportunities to see. We can show you the pictures of the snow outside that I'm sure you won't be missing at all.
Oh, couldn't be a bigger reason why we're going.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a big snow guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about tonight. You're
Yes.
part of this incredible lineup of musicians tonight with Ricky Z. It's for a great cause. It's at the Stanley. It is a Billy Joel tribute. It's a really cool show.
Yes, we are really looking forward to it. We've been rehearsing nonstop. We actually had to cut some songs out of the show. There's just too many, and they're all great songs, but we decided, in the interest of brevity and, you know, making your point and getting in, getting out, showbiz, we took a song or two out and shortened a couple of other ones.
The show starts at 7 o'clock tonight. There's still tickets available.
Yes.
And just talk about some of the great musicians that are a part of this.
Well, there's obviously Ricky Z.
Yeah.
Of course, you know.
His piano work is so close to Billy Joel's. It's just incredible.
I don't know anyone who has it down better than him.
Yeah, I agree.
He's an incredible musician. He's a great member of the community. All that he does, he's given away 21 pianos so far.
Yeah.
Which we will do tonight on the break.
Yeah.
So we'll pick another school and give them another Yamaha digital piano. There is Scott Rutledge, legendary Scott Rutledge. Did you know Scott sings? He sings the national anthem at Major League Baseball games.
Yeah. We actually have we've actually seen a video. It might have been at Yankee Stadium.
Yes,
that he did it. Yeah, really incredible.
He's great. Plus, I always say he's the greatest trumpet player that I personally know.
Yeah.
Great singer as well. We have Michael Galimi, the president.
Yeah,
Utica
Mike's
Com president playing
awesome
saxophone, and so they are our horn section. We have the lovely and talented Julia Scranton, who's in a league and class by her own.
Yeah, she is such a great singer.
Yes, and she and Rick have been working together for decades. So, we have Mark Bolos from Big Apple Music.
Mark just won one of the senator New York State Senate awards yesterday from Senator Griffo.
Did he?
Yes,
Oh.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
Yeah.
that it took that long.
That's I agree.
So we have Rick's brother Ron Zaccaro, who is the younger Billy Joel voice.
Mhm.
He's a phenomenal singer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he sings so great.
Yeah, he's really good.
We have John Dugan on drums, and John and I played together in Classified for close to 20 years. I've played as part of a rhythm section with him longer than anyone else in my life.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
So we lock in together, and there's so much that we do that I listen to in rehearsals that we don't even look at each other or talk about, but we're both like right there.
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
know each other. Right?
Yeah.
And is that everyone? I think
you
that's
got them
everyone.
all in.
Yeah.
And of course you,
me.
great bass player, and we're certainly going to get you back in here before you leave, before you head south, and chat some more about your career. But
right.
the Liquor Authority, you're stepping down at the middle of December.
Yes.
From that and your job at AT&T, you're the reason I'm AT&T, by the way.
I appreciate that.
And I've decided, even though you're not there, I'm going to stick with it.
I hope you will.
I still like the product. So, but really, it'll be a great show tonight, and thanks so much for plugging away here.
Yes, at the legendary Stanley Theater. I've been on the board there for a long time, years. Maybe close to 15, 16 years altogether. But I had to leave when I got appointed to the Liquor Authority because I couldn't make the meetings anymore.
Right.
So anyway.
During that time, just the transformation of the Stanley has been incredible. So
yes, it
really,
has been.
really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll just mention they transformed our studio a bit here this week because we want to welcome and say thank you. The Stanley Theater is the new studio sponsor of WIBX and, of course, on the Keeler Show here this morning.
Dun, da, da.
Da-da.
Bingo. Just like that. There you go. Okay, Greeley, thank you. That show's tonight, 7 o'clock. Go to the Stanley website for tickets or their box office.
Yes. Don't go to those other sites. I had someone tell me they saw tickets for like $1,000. I was like, oh my God, no, that's people trying
That's
to take
great
advantage
for
of it.
credibility, but people are like, I just can't afford to go to that show. That
Yes.
is not the case.
Not the case.
Get your tickets right directly through the Stanley. It's the best way to do it. Greeley Ford, thank you. Sheriff Mashel coming right up. Scary story yesterday for a couple of deputies. We'll deal with that. Also, Eric Grady, the tallest stand-up comic in the world, will be at Fat Cats Comedy Club this weekend. Maybe we'll give away some tickets before we leave. We'll give you that chance. Coming right up, 8:45 at WIBX.
This election, vote to re-elect Assemblyman Brian Miller. He's one of us.
I'm Brian Miller. As your assemblyman, I've been advocating for upstate New Yorkers like you.
Brian puts politics aside and works to create better jobs. He fights for farmers, education, and the expansion of broadband, leaving no one behind.
I vote to remove burdens to job growth and small businesses, stand with farmers, and work to bring broadband to our region so our communities aren't left behind.
He's fought to prove new gun mandates unconstitutional. And as we're all forced to tighten our financial belts because of inflation, Brian is demanding Albany do the same.
Crushing costs because of inflation and state policies have made it harder for all of us. We've all been tightening our financial belts, and I've voted for Albany to do the same while I continue to fight for you.
So this election, re-elect Brian Miller in New York's 122nd Assembly District because he's one of us. Paid for by Brian Miller for Assembly.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move.
improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, Ricky Z wants you to know that you can save right now on this is a new pre-owned vehicle at Steet Pawnee Mazda. Certified pre-owned vehicles that feel so new, where they only select the best of the best late model Mazda vehicles for you to choose from. They offer award-winning Mazda certified pre-owned with a 160-point inspection, and that makes all the difference. It also comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower price or payment, you just say, I need a lower price or payment. And he says, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle. See why their customers always say it's always easy to do business at Steet Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, I want to quickly squeeze the Sheriff Rob Mashel in here. And Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning.
Another scary story out of the area that involves fentanyl.
Very scary. Yesterday, late afternoon, our deputies responded to Brown Road. It's in the outer district of Rome for an overdose. First on scene, they determined there was a female who had overdosed on what was believed to be heroin. EMS arrived. Deputies, it's kind of a unique setup there, but deputies assisted EMS by carrying the victim down the stairs so that EMS could treat her. This whole time, obviously, they're masked up and doing following the proper protocol. There was drug paraphernalia around at the scene. Evidence was secured, again, following all the protocols. And as they were departing and preparing to depart and head back to the law enforcement building, pretty much all 4 deputies began to experience the same symptoms, which included severe headache and dizziness.
Wow.
One of them came, very, very close to passing out, and at which time another member of the sheriff's office actually had to administer 2 doses of Narcan to get the deputy to be able to regain.
And this is just coming in contact with a woman who is
they're not.
overdosing.
I mean, obviously, we're trying to figure out what, but there's many ways that this could happen.
Yeah.
But 2 of the deputies actually were transported to the hospital. I was with them last night at the hospital, and the other 2 were treated at the scene. And obviously, the ones that were at the hospital were treated and released eventually last night.
Wow.
But they keep you, and we've gone through this before, where we had a couple of corrections officers a few months back, same thing, but they were opening mail when they were exposed to it. So that luckily nothing serious, but they were at the hospital several hours, and they hook you up to all the heart monitors, and they do blood work. They want to make sure that that it's not going to happen again. And when they send you home, it's scary because they send you home with Narcan. Just in case, and they don't want you to be alone for several hours, so that someone else could, something were to like a secondary a reaction to it.
Are we? I'm not sure we all are taking this in and understanding the miracle that Narcan. And I know it can be controversial for some. It's like, well, we're bringing people back to life once and twice and 3 times, but this is saving. It is saving lives.
It's saving
kids.
lives.
It's saving. Officials and police
officers.
responders.
It's saving children with accidental or contact with it. Obviously, it's saving people who are fighting addiction. I say it all the time because I do have critics who, think that if someone's foolish enough to put a needle in their arm, then they should be left alone. Well, not in my world. As long as I'm the boss, those people, that's someone's son or daughter, mother, father, brother, sister. But
and you hope it's that one time, that they get help,
and sometimes it's 2 or 3. But the one thing I want to stress, I mean, how dangerous this world is for first responders.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people who day after day are putting their lives on the lines to save lives of other people who they don't know.
Yeah.
It's just scary stuff.
Absolutely. Obviously, it saved the life of a deputy in this case. In fact, I was part of a meeting at one point, and there was discussion about, should this be in public buildings, in City Hall, et cetera? And the one particular person said something along the lines of, well, if this is how they want to live their life and they want to keep doing this, why do we keep saving them? And, one of the answers was, well, maybe this will be the time that you change your life or something like that. But somebody else stepped up and said, this drug is so deadly. You know, your 10-year-old could walk into the bathroom where somebody was just using the drug, put their hand on a counter, and now your 10-year-old is overdosing.
Right.
And, you know, fingers crossed, somebody arrives in time.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in the building, it could save somebody, a completely
That's why it's
innocent
critical.
person's life.
Absolutely.
That's a big deal. Sheriff, we appreciate it, but those deputies are doing fine now.
They are.
All
I
right.
think one of them, I mean, we encourage them to take the time they need, but I think one of them wanted to come back today. But again, it's definitely it's a scary world out there, and we just got to keep fighting the fight.
All right, Sheriff, thank you. We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank
much. We'll bring in Eric Grady. He is a comedian. Something that you might not know about Eric, not only the fact that he's the tallest stand-up comic you're going to find anywhere in the world, there's something else about him we got to reveal here this morning. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Chuck Sedella and everybody over there. We always joke about Chuck holding court at Daylight every day. That's where the important issues of the world are talked about day in and day out. And they do it with the most delicious coffee, lattes, iced coffee, espresso, whatever it is that you're looking for. Bagels fresh every day, donuts. And that drive-through is lightning fast. You're in, and you're out, and you are on your way. It's Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. Eric Grady, the tallest stand-up comic in the world, will be performing tonight at Fat Cats Comedy Club in Washington Mills. Show tonight, 2 shows tomorrow night. And Eric, this is something I failed to mention, but you not only are funny, not only are very tall. Stop, please stop. But you're an artist as well. You do caricatures.
Yeah, I'm a caricature artist. People come up to me and ask me to draw their face. I make a mockery of it, and they pay me for it. Yes.
The fact is, I've seen some of your stuff online. You're really, really good.
Well, thank you. I've been doing it since before you were born. 35 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I. I
wish it was since before I was born. That would be wonderful. Yeah,
I'm a schmoozer.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what I do.
doing
I
well.
try to
Yes,
help.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while.
And you're down on North Genesee Street at one of the hotels. Delmonico's is a restaurant that's down there that's filled with caricatures. Almost has that Brown Derby look inside.
That's what the sheriff was telling me.
Yeah.
I might have to go check that out.
So, what got you into that? It's just talent you had, and
I wanted to do that since I was little. So what happened was, I was maybe 4 years old, and I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And my mom took me to this thing. You know, me and my sister, my brother, we all went with her to the thing called the Southern Christmas Show, and it's just a big craft show for the holidays around Christmas.
Okay. Yeah.
And we saw a guy in there drawing caricatures, and she was like, "Oh, look, Stephen, you could do that," which I thought was a weird thing for her to say because my name's Eric. You would think she would know, but she. But she goes, oh, we see a guy who's drawing caricatures. He's in a beret, a long white coat. He's got a goatee. He's probably about 65 years old. And this would have been maybe 1970, I'm guessing.
Wow.
So he was drawing a lady, a blonde lady. She's probably about 25, had like the little flip back hair like the Bewitched lady on the TV show back then. And he's drawing her playing tennis. And I remember it still to this day, seeing that lady getting drawn. And my mom's like, "Oh, you could do that." I couldn't do it.
Right.
I remembered it. And then years later when I was in art school, I just always wanted to draw. I kind of saw it again, and I go, "Oh, yeah, I really wanted to do that." And so I taught myself to do it, and here I am, got a degree in art, and here I am still doing.
And you went to school for art. I didn't realize that.
In Atlanta, a long time ago.
So I would assume that doing caricatures is a different. You have to learn that style. It's a completely different style.
Right. Well, it's technique. There's different techniques, and I
there's exaggeration.
Yeah, it's all about exaggeration.
Yeah.
So the thing about caricature is people think you take one thing and make it bigger, or you exaggerate it, but that's not it. What it is you exaggerate everything.
Right.
So if it's big, you make it bigger, but if it's small, you make it smaller. Like I was talking about your eyes earlier, or lack thereof. And
very interesting how
I would close his eyes completely.
That's
Are they that bad?
Well, open your eyes and look in a mirror and see if you can see it. No, open them.
You're funny. All right.
But you know what though? That means you smile with your whole face.
That is true.
Right.
You see how I schmoozer.
That was good. You rescued that.
Very good.
You did very well. Do you do any of that at the comedy club at your shows?
I talk about it.
Okay.
Because I used to work at Disney. years ago. I've worked
now there's going to come the point, and I guarantee you've heard this a million times, but people will say, "Oh my God, I remember you at Disney." Do you get that? Because I was about to say that.
Not so much. You know what? People think they remember me from somewhere, and they don't, but they think they do. I don't know that people remember me from Disney. Although when I worked there, my boss at the time had drawn a caricature of me. I worked at Animal Kingdom most of the time.
Oh, okay.
And some of the hotels. But at Animal Kingdom, we would draw you sometimes with your face on an animal's body. And so he drew me as a display as a giraffe because of my long neck. He thinks he's funny. That's what he. Anyway, no, he's funny. He's nice too.
Yeah.
But it was on the display, so people would come by and see that picture, take a picture of that drawing, and send it to me, going, Do you know your picture's up at Disney? I'm like, yeah, I work there, or I used to work there. Even after I was gone, he left it up for a while.
That's wild.
It was that I get.
Yeah. You're at Fat Cats this weekend. You'll like the club. It's inside Tony's Pizzeria in Washington Mills, and there's great food. That's always nice if you like Italian food. You'll love that. I'm telling you.
I see you about to wrap this up, or whatever
I am,
you
yes,
are, but I do want to say something. We were talking about this earlier about how. People see comedy on TV or on Netflix or something like that, and they're like, it's okay, it's funny.
Yes.
But it's not like the being there.
You're right.
I get people all the time who come to a show saying, this is the first time I've been to one.
Right.
And I don't normally like stand-up comedy. I go, because you're watching it on TV. Watch it at the place, and it's such a better experience.
It's like
so much fun.
It's like during COVID when comedians were trying to do stuff because what else were they going to do?
Yeah.
It's just not the same. And when you're sitting in there, and laughter is infectious, and I truly believe that people start to laugh, and then you're into it, and your inhibitions are lowered, and all of a sudden you're having a blast. You are so right.
Yeah.
You cannot watch a comedy show on a screen.
Especially not
and
your first
compare
time.
it and compare it to what you see in person.
Yeah, live event, and there's a camaraderie with the audience, even though you don't know them or necessarily like them. It's just something about it.
And that camaraderie is very interesting too. It's when the comedians, maybe targeting someone else in the room, and all of a sudden we're all jumping on. It's just human nature.
Yeah, that's true.
You won't feel that sitting in your living room.
Exactly.
So,
you gotta go. You gotta go.
And you gotta go, Davey. Let's do first caller through the lines. We'll give a table for 6 tonight or tomorrow night. First caller through the lines. Eric, thank you. We'll see you tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Billy Joel tribute tonight. Tickets. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
People are working. CJ Papa, Fox News. A key reading on the economy. Fox's Ginny Casolo has more on.
261,000 new jobs created in October. Job growth was stronger than forecast. So did healthcare and manufacturing. The unemployment rate rose to 3.7%.
Former President Trump's inner circle is talking about launching a third run for the Oval Office. That from 3 sources familiar with these sensitive discussions. The FBI tainted the DOJ at the highest levels, making decisions based on politics. Claims in a sizzling new report this morning from Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee. Whistleblowers testifying the Bureau is rotten at its core. The report does not blame the rank and file agents on the front line, just the brass, led by Director Christopher Wray at the FBI and Attorney General Merrick Garland. Filed this one under with friends like this. Who needs enemies? Oprah Winfrey, who launched Dr. Mehmet Oz to stardom, isn't backing him in his race for U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania.
I will tell with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped. And sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with